So the umpire's got the ball in hand. Pakenham versus Seville. They played each other last week. It was 22 points the way of the Blues. What's going to happen as the umpire holds the ball aloft? We're underway in the qualifying final. Season 2025 Division 1 senior footy between Pakenham and Seville. And Nolan gets the first tap. Ball comes down to ground level. Stanton goes in hard, taken in the tackle straight away. Mason O'Neill, can he run onto the bouncing football? He can, but he's tackled straight away. And he's swarmed by plenty of Pakenham players at the umpire circles. It's a bit of a scrimmage ball. Maybe an opportunity for Cesare. Thumped forward by O'Keefe. It's a one-on-one contest now. Here's Skinny Morrison. Puts a bump on, but it's ineffective. Now Pakenham can go down the line. Will the mark be taken? Was that front on contact by Nolan? It was. And Keisha, the recipient of the free kick. So probably the man you wanted on the end of this kick. But anyway, Keisha sends the ball forward. High up and under ball to half forward. Can a mark be taken? Yes, it will, but it's beautifully cut off. Nicely done by Benninger. He's got Bailey out wide. Benninger brings it back in towards the corridor, into the hands of Jai Scortino. So Seville just taking the sting out of the game. Scortino through the corridor go the Blues. Not really in any kind of hurry. Long kick down the line to half forward. Cesare's the intended target. No mark can be taken. Morrison, can he get one in the back? He can. Blakey Morrison taken in the tackle. Dishes off and he's turned it over. Beautifully cut up by Jake Wright. Pakenham on the counter attack. Ball comes to the outer side of the ground, currently in the hands of Trembath. Trembath dishes off, and now they take it through the outer side wing. High up and under ball, Stiles. Can he get to the football? No, he can't. Bailey cuts across, but he can't intercept the ball. Now an opportunity for Stiles, but the ball trickles over the boundary line, and it will be thrown back into play. A minute and a half gone into the first quarter. So pretty even contest so far, neither side with any real dominance of territory. Let's wait for the boundary umpire to throw the ball back into play. So Lee and Nolan to do battle in the ruck. Up it goes. Nolan taps it back in towards the corridor, looking for O'Neill. Maybe an opportunity for Stanton. Now Pakenham can get the ball moving forward, but again, they've turned it over. Cut off on that occasion there. That was done by Petrie, who comes into the side. Jai Scortino, low trajectory ball, good kick, and straight onto the chest of Icone. Icone, a little bit unsure where to go. He just continues to chip down to the line now into the hands of Bailey Scortino. So Scortino, both the Scortino brothers involved in this passage of play, may have just turned it over, and the ball once again fisted over the boundary line and will be thrown back into play.
Oh, we love to say it, don't we, Aidan? But they're using the far side of the ground
again,
they are,
yep. And the binoculars get a good old workout.
Oh, no, my certain they do. I just said the wrong word, done an Adam. Bit of Murphy's Law for you.
Yep.
Thrown back into play, tapped down now. Nolan looks to go, but he can't take it cleanly. Clacy now gets the handball at the back, now moving it through the hands. Back to Stanton. Stanton puts a kick to the top of the 50. Can it be taken at the back? Mason Hall fights hard, but they've got it here again. Handball over the back to Clacy.
Couple of music until we can get them back.
Couple of handballs over the top. And it's going to be a Stebbins ball. Move it forward here now. Down the line. Turns around and puts inside. He's got ball around his eye. He sounds his space. The ball takes it. And Bealey plays on. Puts it to the top of the square. Get above and take it. Not quite. Going to be helped over the line by Farrow. So going to be a stoppage in play. Boundary throwing in a Seville forward 50 on the pocket. So Ruckman getting in position to compete for this ruck contest here. So ball's thrown back into play now.
On air.
Farrow to take ruck duties for Seville and does win it, but getting it out the back and moving it forward there for Pakenham was Perkins. He does it well, and they've got it at half back here, Pakenham.
Big rebates. Total Solar Solutions can help. Station sponsors Total Solar Solutions makes switching to solar affordable with Victorian government rebates on solar batteries, hot water and air conditioning. Reduce your bills, increase your energy independence and start saving today. Visit.
And he goes on to a 2-on-2 situation. Keisha caught behind. And it's going to be knocked forward. Here goes Seville. They go back inside the forward 50, but again, doesn't quite meet the target. It's going to go to the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Inside the forward pocket here for Seville. So good signs for Seville early here, getting a couple of inside 50s. When it looked like it was going towards Pakenham's end of the ground early. Now the ball's thrown up, tapped down, getting onto it. Morrison, banana towards goal. Oh, nearly put the dribbler straight through, but it's going to go through for a minor score. Off the boot there, Blake Morrison.
So Morrison unable to convert the opportunity. Kicking duties to be taken here by Kamanzuli. So Jaden Kamanzuli kicks the ball back into the pocket, straight on the chest of Perkins. Perkins sends the ball long down the line. This is a really good kick as well to Ryan. So good build-up so far from the Lions. Ryan looked into the corridor but decided against that. Can Cesare get there to cut it off? No, he can't. Oh, good tackle is laid on Finn Nicholas and eventually scored it over the boundary line by Clacy. So a boundary thrown this time on the broadcast side wing. There's our man Aaron Gillard. Let's throw the ball back into play, and he'll love the fact that I've given him a little mention. So let's assess this boundary throw in here. Oh, beautiful. Plenty of depth and height. So Nolan gets to the front, grabs it out of the ruck as well, dishes off to Cesare, wheels onto the left boot, can get the ball to at least about half forward. Did it pitch in? No. Just over the top. And it will be out of bounds on the full as Aspen O'Neill mans the mark, and he's turned it over. So Tristan O'Neill cuts it off. So O'Neill looks up ahead, not a whole lot to go to, just sends a pitching wedge to half forward. Broadway in the lead takes the mark, and he can send the Blues inside forward 50. Wheels onto the right, not the best kick. Might work out though. Farrow, though, unable to gather it. Bailey Scortino might be able to get at the back here. Can he break the tackle? Dishes off, and Scortino has nailed it. And the Blues have got the first in the qualifying final. Good work rate from Bailey Scortino. 1-1-7 to Pakenham, yet to score.
Yeah, the work rate there was really good to see. Just broken out the back. Obviously, the delivery to Farrow wasn't fantastic, but to rove the footy and then get it into the goal square, that's just really well done. So, really good start for Seville, and certainly up on the upper hand here on Pakenham.
Just had the better of these last couple of minutes, had a bit of territory, and they've made that forward 50 entry work. So well done, Bailey Scortino, usually on baller, but did the work of a forward pocket there, got out the back and had to break a tackle, but he did. And here he is now with the centre bounce. So Nolan and Lee once again in the middle to do battle in the ruck. So up it goes. Nolan probably just got the better of that tap. It will sock it forward. Here's an opportunity for Jack Nolan if he can win the foot race to the footy, and he can, but he couldn't get there in the end. Lee dishes off Tanner Stanton, so Pakenham should be inside forward 50. Vauno on the lead. Won't be able to get it. Ryan dishes off. Mason Hall squares it up looking for Green, but he's turned it over, and Jai Scortino forces the interception. He dishes off to Tristan O'Neill. Not Tristan, sorry, in fact it's Mason. Really good kick to the outer side. Nolan can put the Blues inside forward 50 looking for O'Keefe, and he takes it overhead. And Nathan O'Keefe will line them up from directly in front. About 35 out.
Fluent ball movement there from the Blues, moving it up there.
That was so crisp, and I love that from Jai Scortino as well. He took the intercept mark and he didn't waste any time. He took it on through the corridor. And Nathan O'Keefe, this to potentially make it a 13-point difference early days in the qualifying final. To give the Blues plenty of confidence. In he comes, a stalwart of this football club, Nathan O'Keefe. A bit wobbly off the boot, but it's straight over the goal umpire's cap, and the Blues have got too early. 2-1-13 they are to Pakenham, yet to score. And Adam, some early alarm bells for Pakenham. The Blues suddenly with a bit of a break.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that the Blues have used the footy far better than the Lions have. We've seen a couple of iffy kicks along the boundary, especially from Pakenham in the last couple of minutes, and Seville have really just taken advantage of that and moving the ball forward using that silky smooth ball movement, and it's worked out rather well for him. That mark taken by O'Keefe just there just shows how easy it was for him. Just went back and just went thank you very much and got it through the sticks. So.
Good attacking play through the corridor.
Of course. So ball back to the middle now. Nolan and Lee will contest in this ruck duel. Nolan wins that tap down, but Clacy's the one who gets to the ground level, just gets a little stingy little kick over for the clearing kick. Knowing nowhere in particular, ball at the bottom of the pack, a little scrappy, but here go the Blues again, up the middle of the ground, down into the forward 50, could get one out the back. They try and trap it here. Pakenham is at a head-high contact. Umpire says play on. Matty gets a little handball out. Now at the ground level, can they get out of here? And for now they have. The kick wasn't quite very neat. And here's Thompson. He'll get underneath this.
And surely. Yep.
He's going to get a high contact free kick here.
Trent's lost his chair.
Done an ash tour. So now... kick inside forward, but he could nearly go all the way himself to the top of the square. Can there be a mark? Not quite. Does it stay in play? It's even going to go through for no score and for a boundary throw-in. So
good result that for Seville.
Yeah, it really is. Doesn't allow Pakenham to reset and go up there, but they're really worrying the Pakenham really early here. So the ball will be thrown back into play here. Farrow to do the ruck duties in the forward line for Seville. And wins the tap down too. Gets it down to O'Keefe. O'Keefe around his body. O'Keefe put through his second. Seville have 3 on the board early.
There we go.
Oh, that was smooth as anything. Just the tap down from Farrow, just straight into the hands of O'Keefe. That's fantastic.
Would you say Seville are maybe the most attacking side? I feel like we've seen them kick some pretty high scores this season, and last time we had them here at Yarra Glen, they did kick 24 goals.
Well, I would have said Pakenham were.
Oh, Pakenham are up there. But
I would have said Pakenham were, but...
Seville can kick goals in a hurry as well, and they're doing that so far.
Well, really, the whole top 3, I think, but Seville, Pakenham, Warby can kick goals in a hurry, I think. So... But yeah, no, it's a good point. And they normally spread out their goals as well.
Yeah, they do, yep.
So ball's thrown up. Lee gets the tap down on the way down here. Tackle laid in the middle of the ground by my man, Tiffy Antonio. Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Don't worry, I'm never going to get that one wrong again. Jeez, I shouldn't have said that, eh?
Shouldn't have said that at all.
Yeah. I thought there was a whistle being blown. I think the players thought for a second too. It was a slight pause, and now they're going to get pinned for holding the ball for that pause.
And here he is again.
Tiffy Antonio gets the handball out the back. I'm going to keep saying it. Saniga gives it back to Tiffy Antonio, but he runs into a brick wall. He can't hold the ball. No, the umpire says no prior. Good tackle laid there by Styles of Pakenham. The ball's thrown up now. Bounce, doing no one any favours, but Scortino gets the handball at the back, and here they go. They can put it inside the 450 for accessory, and it's a neat-looking kick to a Louis. The chance to line up for number 4 this quarter, the Blues.
And he's one of their main goal kickers as well, Dominic Alloy.
Yeah, with Neil not there, he'll be the main target.
Yep.
So O'Keefe will float around a bit everywhere.
Yeah, him and Farrow definitely will be the 2 main targets.
Well, last time we were here, I think Farrow kicked 4 or 5.
Yeah, yep.
He really did turn it on.
That was one of those games where it was a bit more spread out, I think, yeah, because, not O'Keefe, sorry, Neil kicked 5 and, Farrow kicked 4.
Alloy comes in now. We'll have to kick this all of 50. Kick is on its way. Distance looks like not a problem. And he puts it straight through. Seville have 4. Pakenham yet to trouble the scoreboard yet. Seville off to a flyer.
So 4-1-25 now. As Trent mentioned, Pakenham yet to trouble the scorers. And Dominic Alloy on the board for the first time today. So this is a really, really worrying start now for the Lions. If only, I think, had probably the one inside 50 entry, and Seville are just going in there and scoring at will. So the ball comes back into the middle. Can the Lions respond? Can they get the next one? So Di Pietrantonio, Morrison, and Bailey Scortino in there for Pakenham. Looks like Ben Green's gone in now for the Lions. Luke Ryan in there too, and still in there is Finn Nicholas. So this might be the chance. Ryan taking in the tackle. Was that in the back? No, umpire calls them to go. Maybe an opportunity for Trelope, and there's a free kick, and this will go the Lions' way, I believe. Yes, it will. So now maybe a chance for Pakenham. So Nicholas, I believe, the recipient of the free kick. He's got Kamanzuli out wide. It's not Nicholas, or in fact it's Trenbarth. Kicked down the line, but fisted away by Scortena. Provided a good contest. And again, Seville forced a turnover. They go through the corridor, but this should be turned over. Wright came up to meet it. Dishes off. Kamanzuli comes out wide to Perkins. Perkins, good long kick down the line. Is it? No, it's going to be escorted over the boundary line. Saniga did well, forces the stoppage, and it'll be a boundary throw in on the broadcast wing, maybe just forward to centre for Pakenham.
Hate to call you out here, Aiden, but you know how we love to have a bit of fun up here. Out of all the players you shouldn't get wrong, it's probably Nicholas, as he's the only player out there wearing a helmet. So.
Oh, fair enough. My apologies. Up it goes. Boundary throw in. Nolan again to the front. Who's had the better of this ruck battle so far? Here goes Ryan. Crashed the pack. Eventually got the ball under his control. Here is Perkins. Oh, did well. Sold a bit of candy, but he turned it over. And here is Mason O'Neill. His kick partly smothered. O'Keefe came up to meet it. Dishes off, but he's turned it over. Perkins once again involved. So too is Ryan. Dishes off. Perkins gets a kick away on the left. 2-1-1 contest. Styles presents and takes a good strong mark. This might be a 4-way forward for Pakenham. Styles, low trajectory ball, nearly turned over. Vaiano couldn't stick it. Medson did well. Dishes off to Jai Scortino into the hands of Trelope, and Seville take on the corridor. Good looking kick to O'Neill, just over his head. Trying to get it out the back there was Matty, but he couldn't do so. Here is Matty once again. So too Ryan been very busy. O'Keefe gets it under his control. Dishes off, gets it to Elides. Elides, low trajectory ball. Beautiful kick of the mark is taken by Broadway. And Dylan Broadway will line them up from only about 30 out on a bit of a 45-degree angle. This for Seville's 5th goal, and to make it a 31-point difference. And Trent, the last time we were here, Dylan Broadway did take a big, massive hanger, and now he's got a chance to kick a goal here and make things even better for Seville. In he comes. On the right boot, swings out on a bit of an arc. Dylan Broadway starts it right, but it's coming back, and he's absolutely nailed it. And Seville out to a 31-point difference. Pakenham still yet to trouble the scorers. 5-1-31 to Pakenham. Zip.
I'm lost for words here, boys.
This is a domination. We've only been going 14 minutes into this first quarter. Seville scoring a goal at an average of every 3 minutes.
This is a very well prepared Seville side. They've come to play, and they've come to make the grand final, and you can see the intensity out there at the moment, and Pakenham just look a little bit lost at the minute.
Well, as mentioned, aside from Josh Neal, this is as full strength as Seville have looked all season. So it comes back into the middle.
Ball back in the middle, tapped down again, won by Nolan, goes over the head. No one really gets the clearance out, ball at the bottom of the pack, but Seville look to go forward here again, dodging and weaving. Now put it to centre half forward, not quite take the mark. O'Keefe lays a strong tackle, but now Pakenham can try and get it out through the half back line, going short and finding a teammate there in Solberger. Solberger uses Perkins on the overlap, then goes over the top to Green. Green unable to hold the mark, but goes back and gets it. Handball over the top, so now they can try and get some running patterns going here through Martini. Martini goes short and finds a teammate, but unable to hold the mark there.
Top of the arms.
Top of the arms, in matter of fact, to Josh Haggar. So there's your answer, Aiden.
Yep, he's playing forward. Yep. I think it's with no Josh Neal. I reckon that's probably the right decision.
So Haggar immediately pulls around and puts it into the hot spot. Can a mark be taken? No, it's punched away. And we see a player run into the umpire too and absolutely take him out. But Seville, in the meantime, have got one out the back. Matty goes to try and gather it. Can he kick it up cleanly? Yes, he does now. Tucks it under his arm. Thought about having a bounce, but instead uses it well to Solberger to half back.
Well done.
So Solberger goes short to Greenhouse this time. Hands are good this time. So Green has a look around and brings it back inboard. Neat looking kick. Now they can run off here from Martini, who has a little fumble himself, then goes back to Wright. Wright gets out of that, but he turns it over to Thompson. Back into the side. Thompson just puts it on the boot. Has to play all out on his own here with a mammoth amount of space. Aloy brings it back into the corridor looking for Cesare. Unable to hold the mark. And Wright, who started this game really well, had plenty of the ball, gives it over to Nicholas. He moves it forward. His kick is partially smothered. So now Cesare can get underneath it. Keep your handball out the back. Do it all well to Tristan O'Neill now. Tries to shrug the tackle, but it's a good tackle laid by Bailey Styles and stops him in his track for holding the ball in the middle of the ground here. So Styles just calms down the momentum here that Seville were starting to gather again and goes wide, but looking for Haggar. I thought the kick was falling short for a second, but it did pick up. Cesare now with ball in hand, has a slight fumble, but does well to bring it back. Antonio gives it over the top to Benninger. Benninger to Sanigar, back to Benninger. Now Benninger handballs moving it forward to O'Neill. O'Neill gives it backwards. They're doing all right here, but the little fumbles that could cost him here. Now the ball, there's going to be a high contact free kick and it's going to go the way of Seville, so taking this one will be Medson.
So Seville looking really good, and they're just beating Pakenham in all areas of the game at the moment. Medson loads up on the left boot, pulls the kick a bit short. O'Keefe, can he get it overhead? No, he can't. Maybe a chance for Skinny Morrison out the back. He gathers it beautifully. Long kick towards goal, over the head of everyone. It's coming back. Don't tell me Nolan on the line. Touched. Nolan nearly got out the back, but Pakenham came back to rush it just in time.
Really well done by Matty. Just work rate was really high and
had a couple of good moments in defence, Matty.
Yeah, he certainly has, but he did cop a goalpost in the face for his trouble.
Yep. Well, that's what he's got to do. Yeah. So I think this is Kamanzuli again with kicking duties. He's got Solberger on his own. Looks to come to the broadcast side, and he does go to Solberger. So Solberger, he's got a leading player, and Brooks up ahead if he spots him. I think he has. And that's where he looks to go. So Brooks will fly for this one. Farrow out the back. Can he get there? Benninger provides a contest as well. Ryan, what can he provide here for the Pakenham Lions? Nothing much. And it will be a stoppage on the broadcast wing. Just forward to centre for Seville. So it feels like Pakenham are just taking a bit of the sting out of the game at the moment, but they still just can't get on the scoreboard. So Farrow goes up in the ruck this time for Seville, still up against Lee. Lee gets his way to the front, but Farrow probably got the better of it. Clacy, can he gather the ball cleanly? No, he can't. And Mason Neal gets involved, keeps the ball in play, sends the Blues inside forward 50 again. Long kick inside forward 50. Can Nolan take the mark? No, he can't. Did that ball go out of bounds? Umpire calls them to go. Perkins gets to the lines out of the defensive 50 and does that really well onto the chest of Nicholas, who takes on the corridor. Long kick looking for Vaiano. Was he held? Umpire calls him to go, and Sanigar will get this ball out the back in the back pocket. Will he escort it over? Yes, he will.
Now, was that a fumble or strategic, do you think?
I think that was strategic, but that's what you got to do.
I think you're being kind.
Anyway, boundary throw in inside the forward 50 of Pakenham. What can they manufacture from the stoppage? They need to find a goal here. They are under siege at the moment. So Benninger goes up in the ruck, gets the better of the tap, gathered by Icone, dishes off back to Benninger. Nicholas fists it back into the corridor, but they turn it over. Sonny Sanigar, long kick, straight through the middle of the ground, but he's turned it over. Martini cuts it off, goes out wide with the kick. It's a really good one as well. Getting involved on this occasion is Ahern. Ahern can send the Lions inside forward 50, and the mark is taken by Ryan. And finally, Pakenham will get a look at goal. It's taken them 19 minutes. And Luke Ryan, just the man, one of their star players.
Good strong mark there too.
It was, yep. Very good overhead. So good rebound from Pakenham, and this just needs to go through just to give them a little bit of life. We are ticked into red time now. 19.5 minutes have elapsed in this first quarter. And Luke Ryan using up every bit of the 30 seconds as well. A little bit of a breeze we can feel just coming across, but can't be anything too strong just given the situation with the leaves and the trees. Anyway, Luke Ryan, in he comes. Kick looks pretty good off the boot, starts to left, it's coming back, and he's absolutely nailed it. And Pakenham finally trouble the score as they get their first goal for the afternoon. 1 straight 6 to Seville 5-2-32, and we've been going 20 minutes into the first quarter.
There's a lot more forward pressure in that last couple of minutes from Pakenham just then. We saw Seville try and escape their defensive 50 just by booting it down the field, and they just brought it back in and really well kicked to Ryan. So Ryan puts the first goal of the Lions' day on the scoreboard, and I don't know how to do maths, but
back to 26 points the difference.
26 points.
Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
So really well done there by Luke Ryan, and 26 points the difference, but there's still so much time left in this game.
The ball comes down in pack now. Ryan dances around and does that well. Puts it inside forward 50, looking for Viano. It's going to go even shorter and go to Keisha. Takes a nice strong mark. It's all right, Aiden. You don't know a lot about maths. You know all about Murphy's Law. So now Keisha at the top of the 50.
Well, you don't know my name because you just call me Aiden.
You did,
I did. I've done well there.
We're having a shocker today, to be honest.
We are. It's the AA batteries, the duo going on here. I'm calling you the AA batteries. I get confused sometimes. Adam, Aiden. Anyways, now Keisha.
AA batteries and Trent.
Yeah, that's what the trio name was going to be hard to come up with when you've got a AA over here. But Keisha, at the top of the 50 now. Looking to put through Pakenham second quick concession. Kick is on its way. This is not a problem. Straight over the umpire's hat. Pakenham have two and respond really quickly.
So just back to 20 points of difference now. So this is really good for the Lions. Keisha is their leading goal kicker, so he comes into the game. 2 straight 12 to 5-2-32, and they've just wrestled back a bit of momentum, the Lions, Adam.
Yeah, they certainly have. Their last few minutes have been much more free-flowing and hitting targets, and they've been a much better side for it. I think it's more watchable footy, and it's harder to defend, and they've just shown that with the 2 goals in about a minute and a half.
Yep, there we go, back in the middle.
It's the ball back in the middle now. Lee probably gets the better of that tap down. Farrow doing some centre bounce duties as well now. Martini can get it off half back and try and stream away. His handball is partially smothered. Could find his way out the back. Ahern tries to go off the ground. O'Neill goes in and gets it. Gets a handball moving forward. If they run into trouble, Ahern gathers the ball and then just stumps it on the boot. Pakenham go inside 450 again. Bailey Styles underneath it. It's punched away. But now they can go in pursuit. Haggart chasing after it. Off the ground, but big hip and shoulder there by Bailey Styles. Did really well. They can gain the ball back in his possession, but then there's another strong tackle laid there. So there's going to be a ball up there. Has a hip and shoulder there by Bailey Styles. Just put him out of his way. Was clearly caught behind, but then he was just not copping it. But then Lee gets up high and gets the tap down, but Thompson cops one really high. Ooh. The old WWE clothesline, but looks at it nearly there. To Thompson. We'll have a look around, taking his time. And goes wide. Interesting enough to O'Keefe. Just stays in play. It's going to be cut off by Mason O'Neill. Tucks it under his arm. Has one bounce. Then puts a kick into the pocket. Doesn't stay in play. No, he's put it out of bounds on the full. All that. Did all the hard yards.
He did, yep.
It's disappointing. He just couldn't finish off the final step.
So the recipient of the free kick will be Brooks, who's got the ball on the half-back line for Pakenham, who've just been able to quell Seville's run a little bit. That's not the best kick, though, over the head of Matty, but he should be able to run back and track this back unless Tristan O'Neill gets there first. Did well enough to provide a contest. Matty's done really well, though. Got the ball to half forward just through sheer effort, but now Seville can go back the other way. Aspen O'Neill, the intended target of the kick. Mason O'Neill now gets involved. Again, not the best kick off the boot, but he does get Seville inside forward 50. Here's an opportunity for Nolan. Dishes back to Morrison. Blake Morrison, kick towards goal, is offline. So the Blues extend the margin to 21 points, 5-3-33 they are now. Blake Morrison just a bit too much hook on the kick. So what can they do here, Pakenham? Can't be too long left in this first quarter. So on this occasion it's Martini with the kick in duties, goes out wide. Dishes it back to Martini, who being corralled by Morrison, gets a kick away on the left and he's turned it over, and that's got to be holding the ball. Just probably not the smartest option. Took the player on the mark, and Cardona, with a good strong tackle, wins himself a free kick. Cardona brings it back into the corridor, so they're looking to take the game on. Really good kick onto the chest of Green, who goes laterally, but he might have just turned it over if Thompson can get there, but he can't. Wright did well. Not Wright, sorry. In fact, it's that man, Ryan, takes on the corridor, kicks to half forward. It spills through the hands on that occasion there of Oscar Jones, and he won't be able to get back in time. Paul Bailey does well. Check side goes out wide. Thompson didn't get a kind bounce straight over his head, and he's... ooh. And that's just silly. That is silly. Don't know what Reece Brooks was thinking there. And he's given away a pretty soft free kick to Nathan Thompson. Comes back into the corridor. O'Neill will fly. Won't stick the mark. Broadway though. How's that? Sold the candy. Can get the handball away to Elides, who sends the ball long to full forward. Over the head of Morrison. And it's through for another rush behind. So Pakenham nearly conceding another goal, but they're holding up much better defensively now. Still 22 points adrift. Deep into the first quarter. So again, Martini with the kick-in duties. Goes for a bit of a run, loads up on the right boot, looking for a Hearn. Cesare can't stick the mark, but he can send the Blues inside forward 50 on his non-preferred right boot. Matty couldn't take that mark. He's been corralled by Aspen O'Neill, tries to sell the candy on him, gets around him, gets a kick away, but it should be cut off, and O'Keefe again can rebound for Seville. Nearly played on against a Hearn, but cleverly decided against it. Now O'Keefe squares it up, and O'Neill will take the mark on the chest. Mason O'Neill, who's been very busy in this first quarter, will line them up. Arcs here only about 40 or 45 metres, so distance probably won't be a problem. Pretty much directly in front. Can't be too long left to go in this first quarter too. So Mason O'Neill with an opportunity to stretch the margin back out to 28 points the difference. So as Trent mentioned, 27-2 last week. And he's been very busy. So in comes Mason O'Neill right on the quarter time siren. How's the distance? No troubles at all. He's nailed it right on the quarter time siren, and Seville stretched the margin back out to 28 points the difference. 6-4-40 to Pakenham 2 straight 12. And Adam, what a domination from the Blues in that first quarter.
Oh, it really was. They just knew where to kick all of the footy. Like, they just found their open player. They were winning their contests, and they weren't doing much wrong, to be honest. So Pakenham got 2 on them later in that first quarter, but it still was enough. Seville still had opportunity to fight back, and they kicked 2 since then.
Yep.
So just a bit of back and forth, but they're very much on top here of the Blues.
They have done 2 straight 12, and we are about to get action underway in the second quarter. Both teams are ready to go in positions. The umpire's got the ball in hand. So really important here for Pakenham to start making some inroads. They just started to claw back the margin a bit towards the end there, Adam, but then the Blues once again regained the ascendancy. Yeah,
they sure did. So they started to show some real strength and good footy towards the end of that quarter, did Pakenham, but Seville have just really been on top the entire time, winning most of the one-on-ones, winning the open field battles, and the effort being put in by Seville at the moment is at a much higher level than Pakenham. So at the moment, it looks like they're clearly in front.
Yep, and they've just had the answers defensively as well. Yes. They're picking off a lot of intercept marks and that sort of stuff, so Pakenham just need to be a little bit more careful going inside forward 50, but they're definitely crashing back Seville, and they've been not afraid to take on the corridor as well. They're playing quite attackingly, and that shows with 10 scoring shots in that first quarter.
Yeah, 100%.
As mentioned, 40 points on the board. So the umpire holds the ball aloft, and second quarter action is underway here at the Yarra Glen Showgrounds. So once again, Lee and Nolan to do battle on the ruck. Lee went early, but Nolan stayed down at ground level 1. The tap it was shark by Ben Green. Gets the handball away. Solberger, in fact, Green runs onto his own work. Here is Mason O'Neill. Green appeals for a hold, and he's going to get it. Tanner Stanton provided a lead in the corridor, but he'll go further to Clacy, who takes the mark. In fact, it's Martini. Martini will send Pakenham inside forward 50, and the mark should be taken. Beautifully done. Right onto the chest of Sam Keisha. And Pakenham inside the first minute have a shot at goal. And this just needs to go through.
Yeah, and this is already a switch up from the intensity of the first quarter. You can tell that, they had a bit of a talk about this in the rooms at quarter time, or out on the field, I should say. They're bringing the intensity in the first minute.
So Sam Keisha will line up. He's about 35 metres out. A little bit of an angle to deal with. He's already kicked 1 goal on the afternoon, but his team really needs him to kick truly here and get things off to a good start in the second quarter. So in comes Keisha. Looks pretty good off the boot. It just fades to the right-hand side. So not the start that Pakenham would have wanted. They get the shot at goal, but Keisha unable to convert. And a reprieve for the Seville defence early days. So Jai Scortino with the kick and duty is the first kick in for Seville in this game. He goes out to the outer side of the ground. Was there a hold on Nolan? Yes, there was. And they take the advantage as well. That's a really good kick onto the chest of Broadway, who wheels around onto the right boot, sends a pitching wedge to half forward. Someone should park themselves underneath it. It's Cameron Zuli, takes the intercepting mark and just can repel the attack of Seville for the moment. So he goes across goal. Bit of a dangerous one, but it should work out in the end to Trembath. Stanton provides a lead, but he thought about Perkins. He'll go beyond Perkins. Oh, he takes on O'Keefe. O'Keefe got there in time, and now Morrison forces the interception. Was he held? Won't matter. Mark Cesare eventually gets on his right-left foot, gets it to O'Keefe. He dishes off to Morrison. Blake Morrison, kick towards goal. It's coming back, and he's nailed it! 33 points the difference.
That was...
Pakenham have muddled that up completely.
Oh, that was a strange decision to make in that pocket there. There was just so much pressure there, and I don't know why that... I don't know, Perkins got kind of thrown under the bus as well. It was just a mishmash of not fantastic decisions, but really well done on Seville for just capitalising on that. Like, just
they did,
it became really simple. There was just open players everywhere because they weren't expecting the ball to be turned over so quickly.
Exactly right.
That's what happens. It's just that's really good pressure.
It was. No, really good quick hand. Cesare did well because he was on his non-preferred right. He got back onto his left. O'Keefe was quick to get it away, and the finish from Blake Morrison, absolutely fantastic. So back in the corridor, Lee gets the hit out. Here is Mason O'Neill, who's looked really good on the gut so far. Gets the ball to half forward. Here's an opportunity for Dylan Broadway. The ball just beats him, though. Tap back inside the defensive 50 by Wright, and they're under all sorts of pressure again. Here's Aspen O'Neill. Can he keep the ball in play? No, he can't. And the ball will be thrown back into play. So the Blues, 33 points adrift. They are looking really, really strong. Just when Pakenham had the early opportunity, they couldn't capitalise. So another opportunity, ball to be thrown back in. Up it goes. O'Keefe gets the hit out. Mason O'Neill, he was taken high, surely. No, umpire calls him to holding the ball. Wow. Reckons he ducked into it. So anyway...
It's been overruled. It's been paid high contact by the out-of-zone umpire.
It had to have been. I don't think he dropped the knees.
What's being paid here?
There's a little bit of confusion out there. There is so much... so it is going to go to Mason O'Neill.
So essentially the out-of-zone umpires seen him get taken high. Which there was obviously contact above the shoulders, but the in-zone umpire deemed it to be that he ducked his head. Or,
he's a known. he knows how to draw a free kick. Let's just put it that way.
He does. But anyway, Mason O'Neill, it was definitely there. There wasn't a drop on the knees, I don't think. This to make it 39 points the difference. This for 2 goals inside the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. Mason O'Neill is missed. Oh, it's a let off there for Pakenham. 7-5-47 now they are. Seville to Pakenham at 2-1-13. Only 4 minutes gone in this second quarter. And Martini will have the kicking duties.
So as they get the ball from back over there, it's actually going towards where my car's parked. Kind of. So now I'm well behind. I've hid myself well. We know we've had one window in trouble this season, we've always consistently said, so I think we all learned a lesson from that to stay clear of the goals. As the ball comes back into play now, Martini bombs down the line, but Nolan will park himself underneath it, but unable to hold the mark, and it comes out to Hall, a fair way up the ground. He's Hall. Now he gets a handball over to Ryan, he snaps it around his body looking for Green, and he's going to give away a free kick to Bennigar for a high contact. So Bennigar will get this on the boundary right in front of us. Ooh. And kick it just has a little bit too much on. Nicholas gets a little hand to it, then goes back and try and gets it. Did he get hold? Yes, hold the man free kick. And he wastes no time wheeling around and putting it on, but the kick isn't to their advantage at all. And Thompson comes in and lays the tackle in the middle of the ground. And we're going to have a ball up there.
Yeah, again, more poor decisions from Pakenham, Adam.
Yeah, just a bit rushed, I think, and they know how far behind they are at the moment in terms of not even just scoreboard, but just on the field. And just making rash decisions.
So the ball's thrown up here. O'Neill goes back and gets a handball over to Thompson. O'Neill started off on fire this game, guys, and now handball over moving forward is Saniga. Kept kicking it off the ground. Now they can try and gather it here at the top of their 50. Now they're inside forward 50. Can they make something of this? The umpire boys is sort of ball this one up at the top of the 50 kicking. Now, Aiden, you're the expert in this. Yeah, Glen Recreation Reserves. Full 50s or not? What are we saying?
No, I was told by Pretzel himself that these are not full 50 arcs, so they're only about 40 or 45.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Expert. As now we hit the handball over. We always come to you for the measurements. Now it comes over the top. Kick over here, coming towards the boundary side. It's going to be a foot race here and doing well for Pakenham. Is Trembar, but then turns it over. And now got it. Aloy just puts his boot on it. Martini, can he hold the intercept mark? Not quite. Saniga deep. Oh, not Saniga, sorry. Tristan O'Neill down there. I saw the 9. I thought it was a 1, but his 4 was covered up because his jumper was sealed in the contest. Scrunched up. So Martini gets this one, and does he stay in play, or does Aloy get underneath it? Aloy flies and punches from behind. Cesare grabs it, then kicks it. Now Aloy gets it to get a ground level handball back to Cesare. Little kick, not 15, so they play on Scortino now. Brings it to the middle of the ground. Here he's standing up, beautiful at centre half forward. We know how well he uses the ball. Puts it inside forward 50, looking for Farrow. I thought he had it for a second, but he's going to get paid it anyway. Either way, he broke the 2 tackles and was off anyway.
Probably would have slowed that.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know why they would have paid the mark. I don't think it was a mark, but he was away anyway, so it would have worked.
Was it paid the mark or was it chopping the arm?
I think it was paid the mark.
I think they paid the mark,
Right, okay. I thought it was chopping.
And he was away anyway. He bursted through 2 of them. and was ready to snap it around his body, but Farrow now will come in. Last time these two teams played here, we watched Farrow kick 4. We'll see how many he can put through today as he looks for number 1, and it's just across the face there for a minor score. We saw last time when he was here, he kicked all of them in the second half, I reckon, just about, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Neil kicked them all in the first half, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. They were chopping and changing. There was a little battle. We had a little race going on between the two.
Yeah.
So Kamanzuli with the kick in duties, and he goes out to the outer side of the ground. It's a pretty good-looking kick. A good contest provided there by Morrison, but he couldn't quite get the stiff arm on Hagger. So now it comes to Nicholas. Long kick to half forward, looking for Keisha, but it's cut off by Icone, is it? Has he got the mark? No, umpire calls him to go. No, Icone is paid the mark, I believe. He comes back into the corridor to Di Pietrantonio. He dishes off. Beautifully kicked here by Jai Scortino. Oh, no, beats everyone. And eventually Pakenham will find themselves on the counter-attack. Solberger, though, ran into trouble. Was he taken high? Yes. So Solberger comes back into the corridor. Kamanzuli will get himself involved once again. Dishes it over the top. Beautifully done to Clacy. Needs to get his kick away, and he does. Bailey provided a contest, but he didn't get there in time, and Hagger takes the mark overhead. And Josh Hagger can line them up from about 40 metres out. Can he get the first goal for Pakenham in the second quarter? An opportunity to cut the margin back down to 29 points. So he has been a bit of a swing man this season. He's had roles in the back line. He's had roles in the forward line. He has been pretty good in front of the sticks, and his team really needs him to step up to the plate here and start to help chip away at the margin. So Josh Hagger with quite a big run-up as well. He's nearly back in the centre circle. So when he comes, Paul Bailey mans the mark. Hagger, distance will not be a problem, and neither will accuracy. He's got it. So Hagger with his first goal for the afternoon, and Pakenham cut the margin back down to 29 points, 3-1-19 of the Lions to Seville 7-6-48. We'll be going 9 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, so they're fighting back a lot more, Pakenham. So they've both sides kicked a goal in this quarter now. Obviously, the one just for Hagger, and I believe it was Morrison earlier. So it's a bit of a... Was it Morrison in the early stages of the quarter, I believe?
Yes.
It was, yeah, at the back. So it's a lot more contested footy this quarter, and it's a lot more even, and it's been a better contest, and I think that Pakenham are better off for it.
It most certainly has been. So it's back in the middle once again. Nolan and Lee, who've been at it all day. Up it goes. Nolan goes early, and he does win the tap. Nearly an opportunity for Di Pietrantonio. Here goes Mason O'Neill once again, but he's tackled straight away there by Stanton. So they gain a couple of metres, do the Blues. So the margin pretty much what it was at quarter time. Seville were up by 28. They lead by 29 now. Lee gets the better of that one. Maybe an opportunity for Clacy. Through comes Scortino of the Bailey variety. Ball spills out the back. Stanton handballs to Ryan. Clacy again gets himself involved on hands and knees on the cricket pitch. Umpire circling. And we'll have another stoppage in the middle of the ground.
So stoppage in the middle of the ground here now. So ball's thrown back up. Lee and Nolan. Nolan gets the tap down, but Stanton's the one who sharks it. Gives a handball over to Kamanzuli. He's tackled down, though, at the top of the centre half forward here for Seville. Stanton intercepts that handball, and now the Pakenham can try and put it out for him to run on to. Clacy kicks off the ground, looking for Styles, but gathering it there. Hall gets a handball over the top. Now they move it forward. Here goes Hall again. Gets around one, but then he is tackled. Umpire lets him play on Sanigar, but then there's another whistle being blown here.
Dangerous tackle, I think.
So a dangerous tackle. It's going to go the way of Thompson, I believe. Or Scortino. And then over to Thompson, the two long sleeves. So now Thompson down the line. Does it stay in play? I think this might stay in play, guys. Yes, it does. Morrison can run onto it and put it to half forward. Can a mark be taken? Yes, a great intercept mark by Ryan Martini.
Very well done. Crucial, that.
So Martini at half back.
Oh, no.
Didn't quite get off his mark, and it might cost him here. Scortino can intercept it. He can get it cleanly. Gives a handball over the top. Now Nolan tries to bust his way through. Does get a handball away. The umpire blows himself to ball it up as he gets the handball away. So it'll be a ball up here, and Nolan will have to do the fight all over again, this time in the ruck contest.
Yep.
So Nolan will go up against Lee. Lee starting a fair way behind here, trying to get the jump over the top, and does well to get the tap down. Scortino gets it, but then is stripped of it. Handball at the bottom of the pack. Now Lee gets a handball over to Stanton. Stanton now puts it on his boot, puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Keisha. And he's going to get a holding free kick. No, or is it a...
Chop of the arms. There was a hold, I thought, but either way, there's definitely a free kick.
Is he with him? So you're saying 40-45?
Oh, I think he's got the trip, yeah.
So he'll definitely have the trip here. And he's definitely backing himself in, leading goal scorer for Pakenham this season. Sam Keisha. Slide angle. Comes in. This would be a real settler for Pakenham as they try and fight their way back into this game. Opens up the angle, Keisha. Kick looks beautiful off the boot and goes straight through the middle. Keisha has his first and they're going on fire.
Here we go. Back-to-back goals for the Lions. Back to 23.
Second.
Yep. Back to 23 points the difference.
First of the quarter.
Yep. So 4-1-25 to 7-6-48 as we wait for the ball to come back into the middle. They've just taken the sting out of this game, Pakenham, and crucially got a couple of goals and just eating into the margin. Question is, can they get the next one? So ball is back in the middle, and again, Liam Nolan will do battle in the ruck. So looks like Blake Morrison's attending this centre bounce here for Seville, and Ryan's in there for Pakenham. Up it goes. Ben Green in there too for the Lions. Here is Green now, but Morrison just paddles it forward. Pietrantonio got it off to Bailey Scortino, in fact, goes out to half forward. O'Keefe will get it out the back. Gets a handle away, did he? No. Dropping the ball and holding the ball is paid. The free kick going to Jones. Wasn't the best kick, but it will work out for Ahern, who wheels around onto the left boot, low trajectory ball, and he's turned it over. Cesare will put the Blues inside forward 50, looking for Aloy. He's going to get out the back. Dominic Aloy, or is there a free kick? Or is it? No. Boundary throw-in. Don't quite know what happened there.
I was going to say, I thought I heard a whistle before the boundary that was signalled.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm
I thought the ball was heading goalward and Aloy was running into the open goal, but I was completely wrong-footed there. The ball just trickled over the boundary line, so boundary throw-in. Jones in the ruck this time. O'Keefe thumps it back in towards the goal square and thumps it through for a behind. So 7-7-49 now are Seville. To Pakenham still 4-1-25. So O'Keefe doing the ruck work and gaining an extra point there. Anyway, Ryan Martini with the kicking duties. He's got Ryan all on his own. He'll go beyond him, though. That's a really good kick, too, to Solberger, who couldn't quite stick the mark. It fell short of him. Good pressure provided here by the Blues. Mason O'Neill, does he keep it in play? Umpire allows him to go. Eventually, the ball not going anywhere. And a stoppage at half forward for Seville, who are just maybe starting to regain a bit of that ascendancy the Pakenham are starting to take from them. So the umpire throws it up. O'Keefe again in the ruck, taps back towards the corridor. Now there might be a way. Pakenham. Solberger, though, ran into trouble. Got the handle away just in time. Little kick around the body. Clacy couldn't stick the mark. Maybe a chance for Ryan. He attempted the stiff arm. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. And the Blues should be inside forward 50 once again. And interesting there from Tristan O'Neill. I think he tried to get himself tripped up there, and umpire not falling for it. Anyway, Tristan O'Neill should be able to put the Blues inside forward 50. It's a crowded forward 50, though, it has to be said. He goes wide, and this should be turned over. Perkins will pick it off. And Pakenham out of jail for the moment. Perkins kicks across goal. It was a bit risky, but it works out for him for the moment. Straight onto the chest there of Brooks. Brooks dishes off to Martini. Goes out wide with the kick to Jones. It's a good one, too. So now Pakenham look to take on the outer side of the ground. They come back into the towards the corridor and they've turned it over. Soccer inside forward 50. Can Aloy get himself involved? Brooks should be able to get there first. Gets his hands to the footy. Can he get a handle away? Gets a kick away. Long kick, but O'Keefe should park himself underneath it, and he does, and Seville will rebound.
So Seville to bring it back inside the forward line now. Deep inside their forward 50 in and flying mark. Almost taking. There's a whistle being blown. It's going the Pakenham way. So Ryan, recipient of this free kick, goes wide. Now they can try and build some momentum going forward here. If they can keep it in possession, that they can. Now they kick a little over the top of the body, and it's a neat looking one. Finding a teammate there, going inside the 450. Now deep out the back, and there's a mark. No, umpire says play on. Keisha wasn't paid, and it's going to be tapped over now. They appeal for deliberate, but of course we're always going to hear the appeal. It's whether they're going to actually give it.
Yep. You see them sometimes in senior footy, but not too often, Trent. It's got to be pretty blatant.
Yeah, it is. It definitely does. So the ball going to be thrown back into play here. It looks like Benniger's going to cop in the ruck for Seville this time against Viano. So the ball's thrown back in. Viano just pushes him out of the way, then goes back and gets it. Handball at the back to Stanton. Stanton winds up. Shot on goal. Stanton puts it through.
There we go. Back to 18 points the difference.
Viano just obviously with the bigger body advantage there, and just use it to his advantage, and a clinical finish there by Stanton off the one step. Just put it straight through the middle.
So doing pretty well this quarter, Pakenham. That's 3 goals for them now. Just the one for Seville. And making a good fist of this, Adam.
Yeah, they sure are. I think that it's just really well done. Far better in this quarter. Just finding better connection with their teammates and more accurate kicking. And they've put up a really good fight this quarter, and they're currently leading this quarter. They
are definitely, and only back to under 20 points.
So now they can go forward again from Ryan. Did he have the ball? Was he held without it? Umpire says play on. Mason O'Neill gets a kick moving forward. Kamazuli tries to get in his possession, but he's fumbled it. Meeting up at the ball was Nolan. Kamazuli goes in again. The umpire blows his whistle to ball this one up. So just trying to get a bit more momentum going their way are Pakenham, but it looks like they're just getting dominated for that middle of the ground.
They are, definitely.
Ball's thrown up. Nolan gets a little handball out to Di Pietrantonio and gets it moving to Perkins. Perkins just goes the spiral up the middle of the ground. How's it going to bounce? This could work out all right if they can get it moving their way, but the bounce doesn't favour them. Bendiger unable to get a handball away, and a good strong tackle laid there by Cardona, and he moves it forward now. Has players all on their own. It's Keisha he finds. So Keisha on a tough angle here. We'll kick this of about 35 metres. Kicked one earlier this quarter, has 2 for the game, so he's going for number 3. Known goal kicker for them. This to really get them right in this game before the halftime break. Definitely. We have been going 18 minutes and 18 and a half minutes, so we just ticked into red time.
Yeah, we have, yep.
So Keisha looking for number 3. And he comes, tough angle. Can he finish it here? Keisha. Beautiful off the boot, doesn't hold its line, just across the face. So unfortunately wasn't able to put it through. Was a neat looking kick off the boot, just wasn't able to hold its line. I thought it might for a second, but was unable to.
Well, we've seen a few shots of goal from that sort of part of the ground, draw back right to left. So I think he had the right idea, but just didn't get the draw on the kick. So anyway, Ahern's got ball in hand. Pakenham can rebound. They really do have the momentum in this second quarter. So Ahern, measured kick. Oh, it's a big fly over the back from Icone. Maybe a chance for Vaiano. He's wrapped up on the tackle straight away, and we will have a stoppage inside the forward 50 of Pakenham. So the Lions, can they manufacture something out of this stoppage? Can they get it back to 11 points, the difference? So the umpire throws the ball aloft. Vaiano tries to grab it out of the ruck, just couldn't get the ball under his control. And a dumping tackle is laid. It was a gang tackle by Tristan O'Neill and Jet Benninger. So the umpire calls for yet another stoppage. So again, up it goes. Vaiano taps back into the corridor. Here's an opportunity for Mason Hall. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. And Mason Hall will get his first look at goal for the game. And maybe a couple of weeks ago, Trent, he was a bit quiet in the first half, but then he came to life in the second and kicked 5 goals. So maybe we might see something similar today. Anyway, Mason Hall will line them up. 20 metres out directly in front. This to get it back to 11 points the difference. Mason Hall. And we know that he loves a goal. And he loves the celebration. So when he comes, Mason Hall looks pretty good off the boat. No troubles at all. Pakenham back within 11 points of difference. Mason Hall's nailed it. His first goal for the afternoon. 6-2-38 of the Lions to Seville 7-7-49. We've been going 20 and a half minutes into the second quarter.
I know we said he loves the celebration. I reckon that's the tamest I've ever seen, Max Hall.
And it was still a decent one. Come on!
It was just a good old fist pump, but it was... this quarter has been so Pakenham dominated.
Yeah, it has been.
And all of a sudden, what do we say the margin's down to? Only 11 points now. So, it's Seville looking a little bit worried about this.
And I think
they should be. This is, if there's someone who's going to pull back a comeback like this, like Pakenham are obviously a main contender.
So up it goes. Farrow in the ruck this time wins the tap. How does it bounce? I think there was a free kick for a hold. That's a good decision. I think the out-of-zone umpire spotted it. And Pakenham again with a chance to go forward. Broadway nearly cuts it off. Keisha takes the slips catch, does he? Yes, he does. He just got there, just got the fingertips under it. Keisha now loads up on the right boot, sends the lines inside forward 50, looking for Vaiano. Nearly got it out the back. Maybe there's a chance. No, cut off by Thompson. Just dumps it out of the defensive 50. Intercept mark was nearly taken. Here's an opportunity for Perkins. No, he didn't get the handball receiver in the end. And here is Keisha. So 2 goals, 2 in the afternoon for Sam Keisha. And he could potentially get this back within single digits. Distance will not be a problem. We've seen him have a couple of shots this quarter. It's just going to be all about accuracy. He is the leading goal kicker for the Lions this season. And what a moment of the game this will be right before half-time as Sam Keisha can get it back within a goal. So again, using up the full 30-second allotment. Eyeing off goal number 3 for the game and goal number 3 for the half. In he comes. So this to get it back to 5 points of difference after trailing by 5 goals at quarter time. In comes Sammy Keisha. Steps out on an arc. Distance not a problem. It's coming back. He's got it. Back to 5 points of difference.
No,
and Pakenham.
hasn't gotten it.
No, he's missed.
Yeah, he's missed.
I thought he got the draw back on the kicks for Keisha offline.
It's going to be a good call too.
6-3-39, but Keisha offline. So 2 goals, 3 years for the afternoon. I thought I heard a bit of a celebration, but again, out of jail. Oh, no, here we go.
No.
The mark was taken, but it was touched. Clacy will send Pakenham inside forward. 50. Couldn't quite hit the target with the kick. Now an opportunity. Nicholas sends a pitching wedge inside the forward 50. Fisted away by Jai Scortino. Now fisted back in towards the corridor. And the Blues are on the counter-attack. Dished off by Broadway. Here they go. Bailey gets the handball away. Was he taken in the tackle? He was. Umpire calls them to go. And we'll have a stoppage on the outer side of the ground.
So yeah, interesting call there. You obviously thought it was clearly a goal.
Yep.
But
I heard something. I thought there was a bit of a celebration, but no.
He did. He punched his own hand in frustration, so maybe you saw the fist pump.
Yeah, maybe.
So ball trickles out now, going towards the Seville end of the ground. But Kamanzuli picks it up and just throws it on his boot. Can a mark be taken here? Not quite. And it's Seville who have the ball in hand. Saniga zips away, then puts a kick down the line. Looking for O'Keefe, unable to hold the mark. Now a kick down, back down the line through Pakenham. As they can try and get some momentum going their way. Nolan puts it in front of him and then goes off the ground. Oh. And Seville again go off the ground as they look to try and get it. I think Martini picked it up nearly around the wrong way. But now they've got it back in Ryan at ground level. Back to Styles. Styles go kick down the line in the green direction. But it's going to beat everyone to Hall. Back to Green. Green. Little kick looking for Keisha. Keisha gets it at ground level. Spins around and then has a shot. Partially smothered. And it's going to be rushed over there and helped over the line by Seville's Tyler Petrie.
Well done, Petrie. Got back in time. But it is back into single digits now. Only 9 points the difference.
So they'll bring the ball back into play. Seville. Again, Sonny Sanigar goes up the middle of the ground and does that well. Finding Medicine. Medicine goes wide to Broadway. So Broadway now tucked up at half-back. Brings it back into the corridor. Interesting kick, but it'll work out all right to Sanigar. Sanigar will bring it short. And find his teammate there, Iacone. Iacone quickly moves it on to Thompson. Thompson, what a great comeback story he's had here. Thompson now down the line, looking for Farrow. Doesn't quite make the distance, but makes Farrow work, and Farrow does all right to let it go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So Thompson a whole season now. Yep. And he's looked like he hasn't missed a beat out there.
Nah, he's looked pretty good so far today, Trent.
So ball to be thrown back into play here now. As it's thrown back in, Nolan and Lee. Nolan pushes Lee underneath the ball, then grabs it out of the ruck and puts it in there. O'Keefe flies, doesn't quite get it. Matty gets it off the rebound and gives a handball over the top. Then they go to looking for Kamanzuli. Kick wasn't very kind to him, but he makes it work. Kamanzuli goes down the line. A good-looking kick to Green. Green has it on the far wing now. Pushes off his mark and hasn't looked around, and not many presenting to him. Now he'll go into the Hagger direction. Can Hagger hold the mark? That's a nice strong overhead mark taken there. Hagger now getting close to inside their forward 50. Hagger goes short and gets a nice looking kick there to Cardona. Now he puts a kick inside the 450. Styles is there. Keisha is there. Styles gets hands to it. Shrugs off the tackle. Then went to give the handball. Fakes it. Then snaps it around his body. Can they get a mark at the back? No, not before the siren can get it. Hager was there. Didn't hold on to the mark, but was very close. And Pakenham, what a quarter they had there to fight their way back into this.
They've done really well, Trent. They get it back to single digit. 6-4-40 they are to Seville. 7-7-49. And I think you're right, Trent. They probably had the dominance in the middle, did Seville, but they just had more answers defensively. Pakenham and Adam, they were just able to convert some of those opportunities into goals.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Seville, they were 1-3 this quarter, and they had much less scoring shots. So it's almost a reverse of the first quarter, where Pakenham looked like they were no chance in that first quarter, and they've just come back, and they're looking rather dangerous. It looks like we've got a belter of our games. I know we thought that this might be a close game in the preview, but
Division 1 qualifying final in the Outer East is underway. So the continuation of Seville versus Pakenham. And I think Lee probably got the better of that tap. He went early and won it. Nearly an opportunity for Wright. In goes Ryan Nolan, though, with a spin out of trouble and a second. Gets the handle away to Cesare. Mark Cesare puts the Blues inside forward 50, and Farrow takes the mark on the chest. Sliding down low. Now the man of the mark will be just beyond the 40 or 45 metre arc here at Yarra Glen, but Farrow is going to back himself in. He's got a pretty tight angle to work with. So this would be the perfect start for the Blues in the second half, inside the first minute, to get the margin back out to 15 points. After all the first quarter dominance they had, it really was broken away from them in the second. So Ryan Farrow, in he comes. Hasn't troubled the scorers with a goal as of yet. Swings out onto an arc. It's a wobbly ball. Will it hold the line? It will. He's got the first goal of the second half, Ryan Farrow. Back out to a 15-point difference for Seville. 8-7-55 to 6-4-40.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed to do. You come out and score in the first couple of minutes or so, and they're going to try and put a stop to Pakenham sort of resurgence that they had in that second quarter. And yeah, there's a goal in the first minute, certainly the way to do that, isn't it, Aiden?
It will fill them with plenty of confidence. It was an interesting one, Adam. It was wobbling left and wobbling right. Eventually, though, he got it to straighten up.
I kept my mouth shut the entire time, did not know where that was going to go.
No, I wasn't too sure either. So back in the middle, Seville with the first goal in the second half, I should say. 8-7-55 there to 6-4-40. So they've got a 15-point break, but Pakenham will get the centre clearance here via a free kick to Stanton. Loads up on the left boot, sends the lines inside forward 50, looking for Keisha in the lead, couldn't take the mark. And there's a free kick for a chop of the arms. So Pakenham with a chance to get the instant response. Sam Keisha, 2 goals, 3 on the afternoon. So accuracy hasn't been his friend so far today. But can he get this margin straight back into single digits? Be a real confidence booster for Pakenham the other way if he can kick this and, as mentioned, get it back down to 9 points of difference like it was at three-quarter time. So Sam Keisha again with a big long run-up all the way back into the centre square. The man of the mark about 35 metres out. So this, for Pakenham's first goal of the second half. In he comes. Looks pretty good off the boot. Does it hold the line? No. Again, across to the right. So Keisha, 2 goals, 4 for the afternoon. Been a bit of an almost day for him. So Pakenham now 6-5-41 to Seville 8-7-55, 2.5 gone in the third quarter.
Scott Tanner to bring the ball back in from full back and goes long. And Nolan grabs it from behind. Keisha was the man in front, but Nolan just stretches over and hangs on to the mark. Has a look around. Then decides to just go long down the line to the pack that is forming. O'Neill flies, unable to hold the mug. Wright's there to stop him in his tracks, but Pakenham get it and they go backwards. The kick doesn't quite get to Stanton, but he does well to meet the ball there. Then gives a handball to Martini. Martini runs out of trouble, then kicks it down the line, does that really well, and finds a teammate down the line there. So got themselves out of trouble for now. Have Pakenham. Short kick down the line, works out all right. As they have a look around and they've decided to go backwards again. So now they'll wheel it around to try and use the fat side of the ground. Or maybe not. I'm wrong. They'll go back to Stanton on the other side. I thought the fat side was open there to be played. But they're just going with a cautious approach at the moment. So Stanton down the line kick. Can a mark be taken? Yes, it can out the back. But I think that might be Nolan again.
Looks like it.
Yeah, so Nolan again will hold on to that mark. He's been everywhere in that first half.
He's been brilliant.
Started off the second half with 2 big, strong marks. Brings it into the middle of the ground to centre half forward. Farrow, he's got it.
I reckon he's just got the trip as well, trying to kick one from similar distance just earlier, and he's backing himself in.
Point straight to the goals as Ryan Farrow already has 1 goal early in this quarter. We've only been going 4 minutes in this quarter. So a chance to kick 2 in just under 5 minutes is Ryan Farrow. Directly in front, not much angle to deal with, if any at all. A kick of 45-50.
I reckon about 50 this one, yeah.
So Farrow comes in. Kick is on his way. I think this might just fall short and it's going to be punched over the line by Jake Bright. Now, I'm not going to say that they've done it, but I reckon the man on the mark has got himself a couple of metres there. I don't reckon that's where he hold on to the mark. So he's made him kick a little bit further back than he would have because he was nearly kicking from inside the flank, inside the square. I didn't think he marked it. I thought he marked him right on the 50, but
possibly. Maybe something the umpire didn't spot, but that's all right anyway.
Crucial in the end, though, because it helped him not get a goal.
No, that is true. That is true. So Matty kicks the ball up the line. Scortino will park himself underneath it. Mason Hall should be able to get this out the back. There's no Seville player near him. Cesare, though, really good work rate. Got to him. Dishes it off. Clacy kick down the line. Bailey parks himself underneath it. Can't take the mark. Here's an opportunity out the back. Comes into the hands of Bailey Stiles. Sends the lines inside. Forward 50 and the mark is taken. And Ben Green's gone forward.
Playing out of the square.
He is, yep. He was the deepest man, and he's taken the mark. And distance will not be a problem. He'll line them up from about 25 out on a slight angle. And this to get the margin back to 9 points the difference. So the old 2-goal turnaround, as they say. Farrow couldn't make the trip. Ben Green, who's gone forward with an opportunity to kick his first goal for the afternoon. In he comes. And he's pushed out to the right as well. There we go. So a reprieve again for the Seville defence. 6-6-42 now they are to Pakenham. To Seville, 8-8-56. So Green offline. And looks like it'll be Saniga with the kicking duties. Just chips it short. Oh, Icone was under a little bit of pressure from Vaiano, but he stuck the mark nonetheless. So Icone, he's got Bailey out wide. I think he'll go beyond him though. Yep. And Ryan O'Keefe provides the lead. The kick a bit too wide for him, and he won't be able to keep this in play. So a boundary thrown on the broadcast wing here at Yarra Glen Showgrounds. So Nolan and Lee come over to contest the ruck. Let's wait for the boundary umpire to launch the ball back into play. 6 minutes already gone into this third quarter. 14 points the difference the way of Seville. Lee wins the tap. Nearly an opportunity for Clacy, but through his fingers. Lee did the ground level work. Clacy taking it a dumping tackle, and a free kick for a dangerous tackle is paid. So Pakenham with a 4-way forward. Ryan needs to get his kick away, and he does. Finds Styles. Styles backpedals off the mark. Assesses the options again. Green the deepest forward. Here is Keisha on the lead, but now Pakenham have turned it over.
Hearns gave away a free kick there.
Yeah,
dear oh dear.
For a high.
Tristan O'Neill.
So O'Neill dishes off to Saniga, who's a great user by foot. He can almost put Seville inside forward 50, but he pulls the kick short. Aloy provided the lead, and he takes the mark overhead. So Seville will go inside forward 50. Farrow provides a lead. In fact, I think Aloy's backed himself in. So Dominic Aloy with a kick of nearly about 15 metres required. So Matty just beyond the arc, the man on the mark. Dominic Aloy just with a 1 goal in the afternoon so far. This to push the margin back out to 20 points. Distance not a problem. And he's nailed it. And Dominic Aloy with his 2nd goal for the afternoon stretches the margin back out to 20 points the difference. 9-8-62 Seville to Pakenham 6-6-42. And Adam, it seems like we've got a bit of a scoring end.
Absolutely, it does. And you can tell he barely prodded at that, I feel like. And you know it was going straight through the middle as soon as it came off the boot. And so did he. He was pointing at everyone, just finger guns. And it was amazing. So Dominic Aloy kicks his... I believe he's second, unless you're correcting me otherwise.
I thought I had him already down for 2, so I was just double-checking. Okay. It might have been me, so I was just double-checking if I was the only one. I was just double-checking if I was the only one, so I'm just not going to mark him at all now for this one. So it works out all right. So now Ryan gets the handball moving forward. Now Nichols gets a kick wide. Can this work out all right? I believe a touch off the boot was called. Is Sesri Hull without the ball? Yes, he is. So he's going to get the free kick here, and they waste no time moving it. Scortino now. Little kick inside 450, but it's going to be turned over. Not a great kick there when they had all the momentum pushing forward.
Probably could have had a kick for goal, to be honest.
So Pakenham bring it wide to Martini. Martini goes wider and finds a teammate in Solberger on the far side of the ground. Solberger brings the kick up the wing, looking for Wright. That's cut off by Thompson. Thompson now gets it, puts it inside forward 50, looking for Farrow. Does it stay in play? No, it doesn't. Boundary line's going to beat them, so it's going to go out of bounds on the full, so Pakenham out with another chance to try and get it out of there and try and get some momentum going their way. And once they get it in there, they really need to convert, because they've got a couple of behinds, but they need to get some goals on the board now before it slips away and becomes all too much.
So they're still persisting with Green forward, it looks like, Trent.
So now kick out. Yeah, deep forward too, almost like a full forward. So I wonder what the question was, the discussion was there. Maybe a bit of pace out of the square, but now they look to move it. Saniga mops this one up, dances around his opponent, does really well, then gets a nice little handball out the back, but it wasn't taken cleanly enough, and it's helped over the line for a boundary throw in. Yeah, it's the only thing I could think of. Maybe they're thinking we'll get a bit of speed outside of the goal square. We'll try and get it in there quickly, and then just back the speed in.
Definitely.
So the ball is thrown out, thrown back into play now. Nolan with front position. Was he held onto it? I thought he was. The umpire lets him play it out. A big strong tackle on Stanton is laid by Scortino. It's going to be balled up here right in front of us on the boundary. So as they set up play here, Nolan again, Lee starting from so far back. Nearly gets a hand to it, but then Nolan just stumps it away. Nichols now, is that a dangerous tackle? Not quite. Got to be careful with that, because they've been opting to pay that quite often today. Sent a few of them already as the ball's thrown back up now. Again, Lee tries to come from behind, but Nolan just holds his ground and gets it there, but Ryan and Stanton link up for a few handballs. Then Ryan, nice looking kick into the middle of the ground over to Solberger. Solberger has Martini running further on short if he wants to use him. Goes further than that, looking for Styles. The kick just doesn't favour him, and Stanley can mop this up. Can he turn Styles inside out? Not quite, but does get his kick away, but Styles is going to give a downfield free kick.
Been a bit undisciplined this quarter, Pakenham.
Yeah, they have a couple of free kicks going against them that just shouldn't really be going against them for undisciplined acts, and now they can go inside forward 50. Ken Seville, Farrow over 2-on-1, wins the 2-on-1, nearly 2, but Pakenham just get out, kick over to Cardona. Can he hold it? Not quite, just over his head. Nolan comes through, bursts his way through, and shrugs off Cardona, then wheels around. I think he tried to go for home nearly, but then he hit the outside of his boot, and it's going to be intercept marked there by Solberger.
So well done, Solberger. Nolan, nearly an incredible play, but he just couldn't execute the kick. So Ryan's got the ball in the back pocket. And again, back to Solberger. So Seville have really boxed them in. There's not really any four-way forward. Low trajectory ball and onto the chest of Matty. Ooh, a couple of nervous moments there for Pakenham. And Matty, I've liked his game so far. He'll just go short to Stanton. Stanton looked through the corridor momentarily. That is where he goes and does find an option in the end. Mason Hall provides a lead on the broadcast wing. He won't be onto though. It'll come back into the hands of Stanton. Low trajectory ball. Pretty well done in the end too. Onto the chest of Kamanzuli. So this is a patient build-up from Pakenham, but a good one. Now Bailey Styles. Green will provide the lead. It won't go to Green, though. That's a beautiful kick to Ryan. Just fisted away, though. Here is Green now. Can he keep the ball in play? No, he can't. Well done, Icone. He came across and just got the fist in time and repelled the initial attack of Pakenham, but they will get a stoppage in the forward pocket. So Pakenham, can they get the next one? Can they get the margin back to 14 points the difference? Seville have just had the momentum so far in this third quarter. So Benninger on the ruck up against Vaiano. Here is Bailey Styles. Can he burst his way through? No, he can't. Comes back to Ryan. Got a handle away. Here is Vaiano now. Will get a kick away on the left. That's a really good kick as well, but Stanton couldn't take the mark. Ball comes to ground level. Strong tackle is laid by Thompson. Huge numbers around the ball, and now Seville on the counter-attack, but the handball to score. Tano missed him. Picked up by Cardona of Pakenham. Now it comes back into the corridor. Oh, here we go. Running into trouble was right, but he got his kick away. It's a pitching wedge inside forward 50. Huge numbers fly. No mark can be taken. Ball comes to ground level. Medson under pressure, and the umpire calls for a stoppage deep inside the forward 50 of Pakenham. So they've got the territory these last few minutes. Can they get something from it? Here we go. Vaiano, kick out of the packet. He's nailed it. Vaiano with his first goal in the afternoon. Back to 14 points the difference. And that's why he's in the senior side. He knows where the goals are, and Pakenham needed that one.
How subtle was the celebration too? Just kind of like, yeah, I did that. I did that.
Yeah, that was me, boys.
That is forward craft at its finest. So back to 14 points, 7-6-48 at Pakenham to 9-8-62. And just when you think Seville might get away, Pakenham, they find the answers. And they're still well and true in this game as the sun really starts to come out here at Yarra Glen, and the ball is back in the middle.
It's sunnier than it's been, but Mason O'Neill's taken off the thick layer of zinc he was wearing in the first half.
I was wondering why he had it on when there was no sun out. And now the sun's come out and it's off. But a tap down now. Stanton, interestingly, gets a kick while being tackled in midair. Now they go around. Martini links up with Ryan. Back to Martini. Martini stops, then goes backwards and does well to dance around his opponent. Kick down to the forward line, looking for Viano again. The goal kicker from just moments ago. Now it's on the far side, and it's going to be another stoppage in play. We'll see if Viano takes this contest too. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's going to go up in the ruck again. Why not when you've just done that? Matter of fact, no, he's not. He's going to stay as a rover. Even better. So now they get a kick out of that. Mason O'Neill comes up to meet the ball, just unable to hold the mark. Stuck up on the wing. A couple of appeals to hold the ball. Umpire blows his whistle and he's going to ball this one up. So as the ruckman get into position now, Nolan and Lee. Lee gets front position, then wins the tap down. Ryan gets a clearing kick out. So Seville now move it to centre half forward. Kamanzuli gets a free kick for a high contact and doesn't waste any time playing on and getting it over to a teammate there in Trembath. Trembath kicks it down the line. Neat looking kick, and Hagar holds on to it. Now Hagar has a look around, then goes short to Nicholas. And he plays on straight away too. Then he tries to bring it back in ball, looking for Lee. Ricochets off his knee, tries to follow his work. Was he held about the ball? Yes, he is. He went for the contact and Nolan fell for it. Sucked him in for the free kick. Now Lee will have an opportunity to put through his first.
Just to get it back to single digits.
So Lee, such an important kick this. Comes in. Lee from outside the arc. Kick is on its way and it's just not going to come back, and it's going to go through for a minor score. So the ball to be brought back into play by Sonny Saniga. Saniga waits around looking for some options. Doesn't really have anything to go to, so he opts to just play on and go long down the line. Kick into the traffic now. Can Nolan mark it? No, just forward out of the way of his hands. Now it's in the bottom of the pack. Dippy Trantonio gets a little kick out as he's been tackled. Stanton puts it back inside 450. Mason Hall pops up and hangs onto the mark.
Well, here we go.
Just a live wire type of play. They need to pop up when the game is on the line. Mason Hall is going to pop up and hopefully kick a few goals. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him just do it a couple of weeks ago where he turned it on in the second half. We've seen him do it in the grand final. Hall comes in. Kick is on its way. Distance not a problem. Hall puts through his second. Here come Pakenham.
Back to 7 points, Trent. 8:7:55 now at the lines to Seville 9:8:62. And Mason Hall hasn't been his busiest day, but he's kicked a couple of goals and keeps the lines well and truly in this one. Let's wait for the ball to come back into the middle. 6.5 gone into this third quarter, and it really is anyone's game. So Pakenham really have brought the fight after being well and truly in arrears at quarter time. They've stormed their way back into the contest. So once again, Lee and Nolan to do battle in the ruck. Can Seville get the response? Can they get some breathing room back? We'll find out soon. Up it goes. Nolan goes early. Does win the tap. Looking for Dipier Trantonio, but it's sharked by Stanton. Kick around the body. It's a good one. Vaiano takes the mark overhead. And Pakenham will be inside forward 50 once again. Green is the target, but it comes over the back. And onto the chest of Hagger. And Josh Hagger will line up for his first goal of the afternoon. He'll kick around the body, will he? No. I think he's going to go back for the set shot and the drop punt. This to get it back to 1 point the difference. So the question at the start of the day was, will Josh Hagger play in defence or will he play the forward line? He's been a swing man all season. He's played forward. Hasn't quite had the impact he'd like, but here's his chance to really get Pakenham right back into this game. In he comes. And he puts it away. Back to 1 point the difference. Seville 9:8:62 to Pakenham 9:7:61. 18 minutes gone in the third quarter, and we have a 1 point ball game here at the Yarra Glen Showgrounds.
My word, this game is getting very, very exciting. Pakenham really just showing everyone what they're made of this quarter. Had some very, very good plays and the opportunity to score so many goals in a row and just in quick succession. Seville are being left a bit stunned at the moment.
No, they've definitely got all the momentum now. Pakenham, they've kicked 3 goals in this quarter to Seville's 2. So, as mentioned, back to 1 point the difference. Pakenham well and truly full of life. Up it goes once again. Farrow on the ruck went a bit early and he went without the football. Score 2, that's got to be a free kick, surely it is. It was either a high tackle or a hold. High tackle was paid. So Seville can go inside forward 50 off the back of this low trajectory ball. Perkins spilled the mark out the back, but he gathers the ball cleanly. Sends a pitching wedge to half back. Cesare provided a good contest. Trembath couldn't take the mark. Cesare picked his pocket. Mark Cesare kicked towards goal. Nailed it! And Seville get the instant response. How about that from Mark Cesare?
Oh, my word. So we get some fantastic feedback from the timekeepers.
The king on legs, as Leo used to call him, has absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, of course.
He picked his pocket and just thumped it home.
Oh, it was fantastic. Really, really great play. I'm a left word specialist. I was going to say wordless. That's not even a word. That's how much that's affected me.
Oh, dear. So the ball's back in the middle. And Seville just stretched the margin back out as Pakenham were really coming. Mark Cesare, such a clever bit of play. He's a wily old fox. Up it goes. Tap one down by Lee. And that ball going absolutely nowhere. It'll be take 2 in the centre. So Lee and Farrow on the ruck on this occasion for Seville. Up it goes again. Farrow gets the better of the tap. It'll shark beautifully by Ryan. Sends the lines inside forward 50. Green on the lead. Has got it. Not Green, sorry, at all. Green on the lead now, I believe. Oh, he thought about the dish off to Trembath. That's where he goes. Trenbath runs himself into trouble. Back to Mason Hall. He tries to go back to Trenbath, but he's turned it over. Here is Nathan Thompson. Check side to keep the ball in play, but he's turned it over, and Styles will force the interception.
Styles now on the boundary and tries to bring the ball back inside. He was bumped as he's kicked it, so applied enough pressure. Antonio gets a handball, moving to Saniga. Saniga to Scortino. Scortino, now they move it. They keep it moving. Farrow, fair way up the ground. Puts a kick inside 450. Nolan's parked himself inside the 450, and he hangs on to it. So he's obviously resting from his ruck duties. Farrow's got into the ruck, and Nolan's pushed himself forward and taken a really strong overhead mark.
We're into red time in this quarter as well now, Trent.
So Nolan, so we're at 7-point margin at the moment. Looking to push it out to 13 points and 2 goals as we head into red time. So Nolan coming to look to kick his first. Kick is on his way, and he's put it straight through the middle. Never in doubt was the skipper, Nolan. And Seville back out to a 13-point lead.
Captain's goal is only captains can kick, Trent.
Yeah, 100%. That saying will never die old.
No, it will not. It's one of my favourite sayings from Blair, and it's absolutely spot on. You know, only captains can kick captains' goals, and they've just wrestled back the momentum here, Seville, Adam.
Yeah, they sure have. It's been really interesting to watch. I think that last Pakenham goal just really set the sparks alight, and they've put on heaps of physical pressure in the last couple of minutes.
They most definitely have.
So back out to 2-goal margin now as the ball's thrown up. Farrow and Lee. Lee gets the tap down. Clasey tries to get it, Stanton, tries to get out at the bottom of the pack. He's met with a 2-man tackle. Now Farrow grabs it out, bursts his way out, puts it back inside 450. Aloy's there, Broadway's there, thumping away is right. Now, if anything's going to be deliberate, that's going to be the one, but it's not going to be paid.
Oh, Dominic Aloy, he wanted it desperately.
So it'll be thrown back into play inside the forward 50 in the forward pocket here of Seville's. So the umpire gets in position to throw this one back in. It's going to be O'Keefe going up. And he gets front position and does get the tap down. Martini grabs it for Pakenham and gives a handball out looking for Solberger. Solberger gathers it, puts it on his boot, but the umpire spots he went out of bounds before he put boot to ball, so they're going to bring it back for a throw-in. So at half back here for Pakenham. As they just regather the ball after it was booted away. The umpire has ball in hand now. So O'Keefe will go up here against Oscar Jones. Jones probably got the better of that tap and punches it forward. Now they look to try and move it. Do Pakenham from Martini. And has he kept it in play? Yes, he has, and Ryan just helps it go. Oh, no, he hasn't. That's why Ryan tapped it in, because he tapped it forward because it's gone out of bounds on the full. I thought Ryan was there because he'd kept it in play. Because it's on the far side of the ground as they love to play. They put it inside 450. Aloy! No. I thought he might have had first grabs. Umpire said no. And a tackler's lane, and it's going to be a ball up 20 metres from Seville's goals.
To be honest, I thought it bounced off the forehead of Kamanzuli. I didn't.
Yeah, I thought there was definitely a touch or stoppage deep inside the forward 50 of the Blues. Up it goes. Okay for the ruck this time. Oh, they should be able to get out right. Got the handle away to Perkins. Kicks towards the boundary line. Mark Cesare could shark it. Cardona was the one who gathered it cleanly though, but Cesare lays a good strong tackle and can lock it inside forward 50 for the Blues. So not too long left to go until three-quarter time. Seville with a 13-point margin at the moment, pretty similar to what it was at half-time. Up it goes once again. O'Keefe taps down, looking for Cesare. Maybe a chance for Aloy. They kick it out of the defensive 50 to Pakenham. High up and under ball. Saniga in a one-on-one contest with Styles. Lee gets himself up the ground, dishes off to Stanton. His kick was smothered. Farrow will send the Blues back inside forward 50. Aloy is a target. Aloy! Oh, well done there by Martini. Got the fist in just in time again, Pakenham. Oh, Martini ran into trouble. Gets the kick away just in time. Sends a floater up the line and Lee takes the relieving mark. Well done, Lee. Got up the ground. And could just take a bit of the sting out of the game for the moment. Plenty of options down the line. A few leads provided. Lee loads up on the left boot. Sends it to the broadcast wing. Plenty of players will fly. Styles got up but couldn't take the mark. Trantonio dishes off. Mason Hall gets involved. Gets the kick away. Tortillon, there's a whistle. I think it's gone. No, it's a free kick to Seville. Is it? No? The umpire pointed the wrong way. So Keisha looking for Vaiano. That's where he goes, but Benninger had front position and takes a pretty easy intercept mark in the end. So Jet Benninger looks to kick across goal, goes to Thompson, falls well short of him, but there's no Pakenham player anywhere near him. Oh, gee, he invites a bit of contact though and a bit of pressure, but he gets the kick away and does well to Aspen O'Neill. He goes out wide, finds Trelope. Broadway provides the lead, and that's where he goes, and he takes the... Oh, gee, dropped the mark. The umpire does rightly call play on. He didn't stick it. Broadway dishes off, goes to Medson. Medson sends a long one to half forward. 2-1-1, and maybe a 2-1, and Pakenham forced the interception. Beautifully done by Jones. Kicks across goal. And Pakenham might be able to open up the fat side of the ground. Solberger goes away on the left. Out wide to Matty, who gets himself up the ground. He can continue to go for the Lions. Matty. And there's a siren, and that will be three-quarter time in the qualifying final in Division 1 football here in the Outer East, and Seville with a handy 13-point margin heading into the final change. Adam, what did you make of that third quarter?
I thought...
Division 1 senior qualifying final between Pakenham and Seville. If you are just tuning in, it is currently a 13-point difference the way of the Blues. 11-8-74 they are to Pakenham, 9-7-61. And the Lions have done pretty well to cut down the 5-goal margin at quarter time, but the Blues still just hold a little bit of ascendancy and a little bit of breathing room. But it should be an interesting contest. The Lions currently with quite a long huddle, with plenty of discussion to try and get themselves back into this game. They haven't led all day, but they've been thereabouts, and we look forward to what should be a thrilling final quarter. Adam, they've done it pretty well since quarter time, but the Blues have just had the answers every time they've really mounted a serious comeback.
Yeah, I think that's been the case all day. So, Pakenham will decide that they're going to have a comeback and kick a couple of quick goals, and it's been really well constructed, but then Seville have been really quick to pick up on what they're doing and then just find the answers in defence, and it's been a really good showing from Seville, but there's still room for Pakenham to come back. It's far from over. No,
most certainly. So players are getting into position now. We wait for the last couple of spectators to make their way off the ground, but it has been quite a good final between two sides who've played in two pretty even games throughout this season. They've both gotten a win over each other, so we're expecting a pretty tight contest, and that's what we've been given. So there is one last quarter to go, and it really is anyone's game. Only 13 points separates the two sides. And all is in readiness here at the Yarra Glen Showgrounds. The umpire's got the ball in the middle of the ground. Players are in position. And we'll know in about half an hour's time who'll be playing Warburton Millgrove next week in the second semi-final. As we just wait for, I think maybe just a spectator or two to get off the ground, but everything is pretty much ready to go. If you're just tuning in, Seville 11-8-74, lead Pakenham 9-7-61. Really not too sure what we are waiting for. Anyway, the umpire does hold the ball aloft, so we will get underway in the final quarter. Again, it's Nolan land the ruck. Neither ruck got any kind of tap on that. Ball paddled out wide. Stanton, was he taken high? No, umpire calls them to go and then calls for the ball up. So it'll be take two in the centre. Nolan and Lee again to do battle on the ruck. Neither ruck got a tap on the last one. Nolan gets hands on that one. Mason O'Neill sends the Blues inside forward. 50. Broadway takes the mark on the lead. And Seville bursting out of the blocks early.
That's explosive from Mason O'Neill. It's what they want to start the quarter and to lead into the final term.
No, I 100% agree with Trent. He's been electric in that midfield today and just thumped the ball onto the boot, and Dylan Broadway accepted it. And here he goes, Dylan Broadway from directly in front, 25 metres out. And he puts it away. First goal of the last quarter goes to the Blues, and they're out to a 19-point break. 12-8-80 to 9-7-61. 1 minute gone in the last quarter.
So it's them two switching, Mason O'Neill and Dylan Broadway as the extra mid, as they're switching between forward and mid between them two, both having an impact. So
Dylan Broadway kicks his second goal. And that was brilliant from Mason O'Neill. He just got the ball onto the boot and absolutely nailed the kick. And Dylan Broadway gleefully accepted it and, more importantly, converted the opportunity. So not the start that Pakenham really needed, but it's still definitely a gettable margin nonetheless. So up it goes again. Nolan wins the tap, got it down to score turnover, but he was met with plenty of Pakenham pressure straight away. Through comes the umpire, and once again, it'll be take two in the centre. As it often is. So Nolan and Lee, up it goes once again. Nolan tried to thump it forward, but Lee got it back the other way, gathered by Perkins. He was dispossessed, picked up by Mike Cesare, gets a kick away, only gathers about 10 or so metres. Through comes Ahern, taken to the tackle straight away by Mason O'Neill. Now a strong tackle is laid by Cesare, and holding the ball is paid. And Mark Cesare, at least a kick and a half away from home. Cesare goes for goal. Does he have the trip? I reckon he's got it. Has he? No, just offline. He had the distance, just missed to the near side.
I don't know what happened when he was taking the free kick, no one really stood on the mark, so we just sort of ran forward and went, I'm actually just going to kick this from the arm.
He did. He gathered plenty of range and he had the distance, just didn't quite have the accuracy.
Ryan in the back pocket has this in possession now. Has a look around and decides to just switch the play, brings it back to the middle of the ground. Martini switches the play, but Thompson comes in and cuts off. Can he go with this, Thompson? Yes, he can. Tried to duck in under to try and draw that high contact free kick, but was unable to gather it, so the umpire blows his first to ball this one up.
Well done, Kamanzuli. Had to stick that tackle.
You saw the shrug that he tried to do.
Yeah.
Never not say he ducked, but he went for the technique, and then Kamanzuli perfected his tackle with really well there. So now, ball's thrown up. Can Seville get underneath this and try and get it? But Pakenham now with ball in hand, bring it into the middle of the ground. Another interesting looking kick. If it can favour them, it might work out all right. Hall gathers it, then gets a handball away quickly, but it's going to be a free kick going back to Hall.
Yeah, just stuck with the tackle too long.
So fairway up the ground is Mason Hall. Nearly gave the handball off to Martini. Opts not to it. Then puts it inside forward 50. And it's a good kick. Almost finding a teammate there. Unable to hold the mark there though. Now they can get it back. Seville bring it into the middle of the ground. But it was looking for Broadway and hangs on to it. Further up the ground this time is Broadway. Has a look around. Then has Farrow leading up to it. Can he get it? Not quite. Good defensive effort there. No. Free kick's going to be paid against him.
Top of the arms.
I thought he did all he could there. But the umpire's obviously seen something that we can't see from all the way up here.
I think it was just the afterwards. So he put the physical pressure onto Farrow, but then I think just held onto his jersey for a bit too long. I think that's might be the issue in that contest.
Is to make it 26 points, Trent.
It's not easy as a defender these days, might I say. No, sometimes you can't do a lot of stuff. As Farrow comes in. In he comes. It's such an important kick. Kick looks pretty good. Does it hold its line? You bet it does. Farrow kicks the first of the last.
There we go. What a crucial moment of the game for the Blues. Out to a 26-point difference now. And they have come bursting out of the blocks, Adam.
Yeah, they really have. If Pakenham want any sort of chance to keep their foot in the door, then they're going to have to kick some goals and get them on the scoreboard quick.
So 13-9-87 now, Seville to Pakenham 9-7-61. The ball comes back in the middle. And it's pretty simple here for the Lions. They've got to get the next one. They can't let this margin continue to stretch out. So Nolan and Lee once again to do battle in the ruck. Up it goes. So Ben Green still forward for the Lions. When you reckon, I wouldn't mind seeing him back on the footy, to be perfectly honest. Here is Bailey Scortino, tries to spin out of trouble. Got the handball away. Gathered by Nolan. Breaks away from a couple. Sends the ball to half forward. Broadway will come up to meet it. Didn't get the kindness of bounces, though. Met with a couple of players. Mason O'Neill bursts away. Kick towards goal. Misses everything.
I saw him grab at the hammy, and I don't know if that was a genuine concern or if he's...
now he's going the ankle.
It looks cramp.
Maybe a bit of cramp.
Yeah, a bit of cramp, yeah.
Oh, I think he's fine. He just
it's like,
needs some sort of excuse for the missed shot at goal.
Sorry, Mason.
So the recipient of the free kick will be Martini in the back pocket. Loads up on the right boot. Sends it down the line. Won't be cut off. Well done by Ryan. Needed to take that mark, and he did.
Had plenty of the footy, Ryan.
He has. He's been very busy today. Not really too sure where to go, though. Seville really stagnating the lines. So he sends it long down the wing. Can a mark be taken here? No, it can't. It'll spill down to ground level. Can Pakenham find a four-way forward? There's a free kick for a hold. This will go the Lions' way. So not quite sure the recipient. I think it might be Keisha who's gone up the ground. Comes back into the corridor. That's a pretty good kick as well. They might be able to open up something here. Into the hands of Stanton. Gets the ball to about half forward. Styles in the lead will take the mark. Does he have a kick for goal? I reckon he might just be within range here. I think he's going to back himself in, Bailey Styles. So the number 7 for the Lions has not troubled the scorers at all today. But he's got a good opportunity here on a little bit of an angle. And a kick of at least maybe about 45, 50 metres required to get it back to 20 points the difference. To get some life back into this qualifying final for Pakenham. In he comes. Bailey Styles. Distance not a problem. It's coming back. And he's nailed it. They get it back to 20 points the difference. Bailey Styles kicks his first. Pakenham 10-7-67 to Seville 13-9-87. We've been going 7 minutes into the final quarter.
Yeah, no, that's Pakenham really needed that one to keep themselves in this. They did. And if they want to keep their hopes alive, then they really should be trying to clear this out of the centre and see if they can get another one on the scoreboard.
Most definitely, Adam. So they need to manufacture something out of the centre bounce.
Do we possibly think Ben Green might be nursing something too? Because he spent a lot of time very, very deep.
He has, yeah. It's an interesting one because you reckon you got to get your best players on the ball, Trent, you would think.
He normally plays that mid-high half-forward
yep.
role. So now they get the handball out the back. Scortino gets away from that. Now they look to move forward to Seville. Kick inside forward 50. Can it might be taken? Yes, it can. O'Keefe, who burst on the scene in the first quarter, kicking 2.
Yep.
Hasn't kicked one since.
Yeah.
But here's a chance to kick her at such an important goal in the last. Looking for number 3.
Morrison. He's just he's grabbing at his ankle, like sort of limping around.
Yeah, he is a bit proppy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like he might come off, but it looks like one of those ones you just got to run off. O'Keefe kicked on its way. Beautifully done. O'Keefe lifts the crowd as well. He's got 3. Seville push out further in front.
There we go. Instant response for the Blues. Right back out to a 26-point break.
26 points is quite a lot in this game. We've got 8 minutes into this quarter and quite a lot of work for the Lions to do.
Yep. Yeah, so it was 31 points, I think, so the biggest lead. That was when Seville, had kicked the first 5 goals of the game, and Pakenham hadn't registered a score as the ball comes back into the middle.
So we wait for the ball to be thrown out to resume play, and now it is. Nolan gets the tap down for Seville. Can they move forward? O'Neill gets a little thump forward. Nicholas gets it out the back. Looking for a teammate there, trying to get it on to right. But it's turned over now. Elatus can go inside forward 50 for Seville. In the goal square, Aloy. But coming over the top and punching it, doing really well, was Brooks.
Yeah, we just got to hold up play. We have a Pakenham player on that far wing. I didn't quite grab his number while he went down, so I think it might be Styles.
No, I think it might be even right after he kicked it.
Yeah, it's right. Yep.
That's right? Okay.
So maybe he got a tackle afterwards and it's just taking the wind out of him a bit by the looks of it.
So 27 points the difference now.
That'll be the 7 that I saw then.
Yep. Yes, it
So
will
now
be.
it comes in. Here is the man in question, Bailey Styles, though, and takes a nice, strong contested mark over Thompson.
Must have been standing in front of the box.
Styles brings it inboard now, but I think he's turned it over. Doing enough pressure with Nicholas. He does really well, but then he's met with a tackle, but does get a little handball out, but now another tackle is laid on him, and the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt, blows the whistle to ball this one up. So to resume play here, right in front of us on the wing. Lee and Nolan to go at it. Nolan gets front position and wins the tap down. O'Neill gets a little handball out, but Mason Hall comes in and sharks it. Gives the handball out to Ryan. Ryan goes to Ahern. Ahern spins around. Does he keep this one in play? No, he doesn't. Well out of bounds on the full. And another move that they've done, guys, they've pushed Matty forward.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I've liked his game on the back line, but anyway, so Jai Scortino will be the recipient of the free kick at half back.
They're definitely trying everything here.
Yep, Scortino. Got a couple of players leading up to him, both the O'Neills, Aspen and Mason, well, 2 of the 3. High up and under ball, looking for Morrison, but it should be cut off here by Stanton. Thought about dishing off, and that's exactly what he does to Perkins. Oh, nearly ran into trouble, but he got away. Puts the lines inside forward 50. Keisha on the lead. Oh, no, he couldn't take the mark. Keisha, though, kick around the body, and he's got it. No, missed. 2 goals, 5 for Keisha.
Just a what-if day
Yep.
for Keisha, it really is. Has to be said.
10-8-68 now. Seville to Pakenham 14-10. Oh, no, sorry, the other way around. Seville are 14-10-94 to Pakenham 10-8-68. So Scortino with the kicking duties of the Jai variety. So nearly 11 minutes gone into this final quarter. Still time enough for Pakenham, but they need to get motoring pretty soon. Scortino loads up on the left boot. High up and under ball. Aloy will fly, so too will Nolan. Neither could stick the mark. Here is DiPietrantonio. Can he get a handball away? He can. Looking for Bailey. Free kick for a throw. Will go Pakenham's way. So the recipient will be Brooks, will it? Yes, it will be Brooks. So Hearn provides a little bit of a short lead, but he'll go beyond him. Looking for Keisha again, but it's turned over. Well done, Benninger. Cuts it off. And Seville can counter-attack. Low trajectory ball's a good one. Onto the chest to Saniga. Saniga looks to go to the outer side of the ground. Looking for O'Keefe. Didn't get a kind bounce, but he provided a good contest. But now here go the Lions. They'll go inside forward 50. Will they? No, it'll fall short. Mason Hall, sorry, not O'Hall. Had it thumped away from him.
Hall. Not quite.
There we go. Anyway, Bandry throwing it half forward for Pakenham. They need to manufacture something here. Still 26 points in arrears. Up it goes. Lee wrestles his way to the front. Probably got the better of the tap. Clean bowls a couple. They try and paddle it forward. In goes DiPietrantonio once again. Ball going nowhere, and the umpire comes in and calls for a stoppage. So Pakenham starting to lock the ball in their end of the ground, but they need to start hitting the scoreboard. A lot of work still needs to be done. Up it goes. Nolan got the better of that one. Stanton tries to shark it, but through comes Martini. Sends the ball into the forward pocket. Fisted away by Benninger. Gets it over the sanctity of the boundary line, and it will be thrown back into play in the forward pocket of Pakenham.
There's no one in the back 50 here. They're all just pressed up.
No.
There is no one forward to centre for Seville as of right now. There we go. Ryan Farrow was the only player, and now he's in the defensive half of the Blues.
So now, ball's thrown back into play here. Iacone just grabs it out of the ruck and moves the handball moving forward. Now they can try and get some run and carry going here. Morrison with ball in hand. Little chip kick down the wing, but it's thumped away by Wright. And it's going to be a boundary throw in on the far side of the ground. So they've really pushed up the ground and provide some sort of press. Pakenham just trying to lock it in, but they really just need to get the ball in and try and get some scoreboard pressure going now. So now, ball's thrown back into play. Nolan wins the tap down. Kick smothered by Pakenham. There's a whistle being blown. Which way is it going? It is going Pakenham's way. And it's going the way of Wright. He's running away, so is it Nicholas or is it Wright? We'll have a look in a second. They're both standing in the region. I think it's going to go to Wright. Yep, so when he gave her the ball... No, it's going to go to Nicholas. I don't think either of them knew either.
Oh, dear.
They were both standing in there waiting for it. Now they get a handball moving forward. Here you go, Pakenham inside forward 50, and they got a Hearn on his own. Handball over to Perkins. Perkins puts it inside forward 50. Matty is there. Oh, nearly on the second grab. Saniga gets a handball out, looking for Scortino, then goes back and gets it himself. Saniga, kick away now. They move it forward here for Iacone. Iacone shrugs off the incoming tackle, then puts a kick down the line. Has a Loy. Can he hold the mark? Not quite. Spoiled just in the matter of time. Now it's got to the far side and it's helped over the line for a boundary throw in. How long have we been going? 13 and a half minutes?
14.
14 minutes. So on the far side of the ground now, time is running out well and truly for Pakenham. They really need to start converting these opportunities when they get into their half of the ground. So just waiting for the ball to be thrown back into play here. As it comes it back in now. Nolan wins that tap down. But Jones comes up and meets it for Pakenham, but he's met with a tackle by O'Keefe and he stopped him in his tracks, so the umpire will ball this one up. And he's just... Solberger must have been giving him something because he's just gave the old hand out going, hey, the old razor, hey, we don't talk to each other like that around here. As the ball's thrown up now, tap down, another stoppage. I reckon the umpire might have to blow his whistle again. That he will. So on the far side of the ground, we'll have another stoppage in play. With tired legs, we'll probably see a bit more of that late in the game unless Pakenham can find some dash to get some momentum going their way. Ryan gets the clearance out of the way, just boots it forward to try and get some momentum going. Here's Green, handball over the top. Now they can try and they're going to go backwards here and try and link up for a few hands. Green again gets it back over to Perkins. Stanton, gets a kick over the top. Iacone spills the mark. So Pakenham still with a chance here to try and get it going back inside their 450, but no, for a matter of fact, Seville gets it back now. Nolan attacks the ball. He's there with Lee. Lee applies some good pressure, but Broadway puts an important kick going forward, but there's a free kick for kicking in danger. I called it a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was dead because we didn't get one. No. But now it's definitely alive because we got one paid here.
Here we go. So Pakenham with an opportunity. Green, the recipient of the free kick, who's got himself up the ground. Just goes short. Styles on the lead. Takes the mark. He did well up against Saniga. Saniga probably didn't quite time his jump. Styles puts him inside forward 50. Keisha on the lead has got it. It's not been a friend of his accuracy today. 2 goals, 5, but he's got a chance to get it back to 20 points the difference. His team really need him to find his radar right now. A kick of about 40 metres required, pretty much directly in front as Paul Bailey mans the mark. So 16 minutes have elapsed into the final quarter. And as mentioned, it is currently a 26-point difference the way of Seville. Sam Keisha, this for his 3rd goal of the afternoon. And this to kick some life back into the lines. In he comes with a slow and deliberate approach. Distance not a problem. It's straightening up and he's got it straight over the goal umpire's cap. Sam Keisha, maybe one last chance here for Pakenham. He gets it back to 20 points the difference. He's 3rd for the afternoon. 14-10-94 a Seville to Pakenham 11-8-74. We'll be going 6.5 into the final quarter.
They've really got to put the hard yards here at the end of this game.
They do, yep.
So with the 20 points down at the moment, they've just got to get the next one forward, trying to get one on the board. And it'll be a very tight contest for the remaining few minutes of this game.
And they've just got to take the game on. They've got to be attacking. Yeah. They need at least 4 goals or 3 goals and 3 behinds, whatever you like. But there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still time.
And they can't get bogged down in the pressure that Seville are going to put on.
No, they can't. So Farah's going to go up in the ruck this time for the Blues. So Nolan may have gone forward once again. Neither ruck really got any real tap on that one. Ball going absolutely nowhere, and it'll be take 2 in the centre. So the Blues probably at least want one more goal here. Probably a little bit too early to start running the clock down. But if they can hold the lead for a couple more minutes, they can start to think about that. Again, huge numbers around the ball. So the Blues trying to cause some congestion just as I say that. And again, the ball going absolutely nowhere. So Pakenham, can they get the next one? Can they get it back under 20 points? Let's wait for the umpire to throw the ball up. Up it goes. Lee and Farrow. Here is Styles. Spins out of trouble. Gets a kick away around the body. Can Cardona run onto it? He didn't get a kind bounce at all. Oh, it is bouncing right angles, left and right. Cesare eventually gets the ball under his control. He gets away. Gets a kick onto the left. Has he turned it over? No, he hasn't. Now comes back in towards the corridor. Elides will fly. Can't stick the mark. Now Pakenham with a chance through right. He'll take on the corridor. Kick to a 2-on-2. Green. Was he pushed? No. Umpire calls them to go. Getting the handball away just in time was Petrie. Maybe a chance for Farrow. Gathered though by Lee. Dishes off. Here you go Pakenham through the corridor. The intended target was right. Icone came up to meet it. Can he get the handball away? Yes, he does. Finds Di-Pietrantonio. Just swings onto the left. Goes inside forward. 50. And the intercepting mark is taken. Nicely done by Martini. Steadfast in defence. Again, looks to take on the corridor, and this is what they've got to do. Onto the chest of Perkins. Perkins assesses the options down the line. He needs to pull the trigger. They've got to go. He looks at Jones, and it's a well-weighted kick, and Jones wastes no time. He'll send the lines inside forward. 50. Keisha! Fisted away by Benninger. It's back into the corridor, though. Dangerous times for the Blues. Gathered by Icone. Dishes off to Thompson. Solberger will provide the pressure, and it goes over the boundary line, and it will be thrown back into play at half forward for Pakenham.
Crucial times as Pakenham look to try and use the corridor, but not enough presenting for them to go any more further. But I liked how Oscar Jones didn't waste any time trying to get it in there.
Exactly.
Time check, please, Aiden.
19 minutes gone.
19 minutes gone. So well and chilly in red time. Clacy met with a tackle there. Seville look to try and get this one clear out of the contest. They bring it into the middle of the ground, and they might turn it to Cardona. Gets it now in the middle of the ground. He comes wide to Stanton. Stanton now has a look. Then sees something he's like, puts it in the direction of what he likes, which is Hagger, and Hagger holds on to it.
Here we go. Already got 2 goals in the afternoon.
So Hagger, as you mentioned, 2 goals this afternoon. Looking for number 3 in a crucial time now. The key here, he won't know what's on the clock, but he can't waste too much time going back for his routine.
No, he can't.
So Hagger, and he isn't wasting too much time at the top of his mark now. He comes in straight away. Smart move. So Hagger, on a bit of a slide angle here, comes in. Can it hold its line? Oh, no, it's across the face. No. Not the result that they needed in this moment. They needed everything to go their way here. Still time, though. So they'll bring the ball back into play for his son against Seville. Can Pakenham try and cut this off and press and go again? It'll go short. And he does that well, finding a teammate there in Medson. Medson, tucked up in the back pocket. Has a look around. Then he'll probably will go long down the line. Matter of fact, he'll just go down the wing. Can a mark be taken? Farrow? No, Ryan stands tall in the contest and takes a crucial mark. Ryan opens up the corridor, does that well, gets a kick over to Stanton. Stanton sees something he likes in the middle of the ground. He's got Green, and Green holds on to it.
Here we go.
And Green quickly runs back off his mark because he knows time is not his friend at the moment. But he needs to go back and kick this. Spent a lot of time deep forward in this second half.
Pretty much the entirety, yep.
Green comes in. Such a crucial kick. Kick is on its way. Can it come back? Yes, it can. What's the umpire's not quite sure.
There's a conference.
The umpire went to give it behind, I think, and then thought about it for a second. So they're going to have a discussion here. This is such a critical decision. The umpire's giving it a behind. Not the result Pakenham needed. Not the result they needed. He must have thought it went over the post. That's the only reason I can see him not giving it. So Scortino will burst off half back for Seville and just goes wide because he knows time is his friend. So no dangerous kicks are needed for Seville. No. On the far side of the ground now. Now they'll come backwards to Iacone. Iacone has Medson further, but Hall covers that gap. Ooh. And a kick, wasn't kind to Saniga, but they paid the mark. I thought it fell short, but Saniga has taken a slips catch down low there and goes wide. They're doing this well, Seville, just keeping the ball in their possession. So now they look around. Wasting no time is Thompson. What a great return he has had. Looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Puts it down the line. Can the mark be taken here? Flying out the back is Nolan. What a huge mark that is. So now they play on here inside the forward 50. Can it might be taken? Yes. I think this player's been really good too. Martini with another intercept mark. He's battled hard down at that half-back line.
So Martini goes out wide with the kick and he finds Ryan. Maybe one last roll of the dice for the Pakenham Lions, but time is very much their enemy. Perkins back into the corridor. He finds Stanton. He goes back to Ryan and then Ryan back to Stanton. Loads up in the left boot. Long kick. But Nathan Thompson, the only player anywhere near this. He'll gather it uncontested. Dishes off. It comes back into the hands of Thompson. Another handball onto Di Pietrantonio. He'll send the ball down to half forward, but he's turned it over onto the chest on that occasion there of Oscar Jones, who forced the intercept mark. But I think it's a downfield free kick, is it? Or no, it's going to...
Yeah.
Or is
Nathan Thompson just getting under the skin of the Pakenham Lions and got a bit of a push and shove against him on the ground. So giving away the free kick have the Lions.
So it's... I think it's a... Or is it a free kick? I think it's coming back to Di Pietrantonio. He's going to dish it off, though. Saniga, in fact, loads up to the top of the square. O'Keefe got it! No, is it
there's a bit of
free kick for a push? Oh, no, sorry, he didn't take...
Oh.
I thought O'Keefe had stuck it. Anyway, it's going to come back the other way. Green in the lead. Can he take the mark? Yes, he can. He does well overhead. You've just got to go, Benny. That's what he does. Kick down the line to Matty. Can he take the mark overhead? Yes, he can. Cesare keeps him corralled. He took him on. Oh, maybe a bit fortuitous there for Matty. He'll send the Lions inside forward. 50. Looking for Mason Hall. Do they keep it in play? No. And time continues to run out for Pakenham. 24 minutes now gone in this final quarter. So Bandry throwing it half forward for Pakenham. Got to get the next one and the one after that. They're still 18 points in arrears. So up it goes. Farrow and Lee. Farrow taps back towards the corridor. Here is Tristan O'Neill. He finds Jai Scortino. Through the corridor goes Seville to Jack Nolan in a 2-on-1. Takes the mark, Jack Nolan. He's got an open goal square and he's just going to take time off the clock.
Why wouldn't you?
Smart.
Very smart by Jack Nolan. And I reckon he might just have the range here anyway. And the umpire's going to back him in on that. So this... to seal the game well and truly. If he can go back and kick truly here, the Seville captain, he's already got one goal in the afternoon. He's been brilliant. He's been all around the ground. He's dominated in the ruck. Nolan, I think it's just going to fall short, is it? No.
Yes.
It will just fall short. And Luke Ryan right on the goal line, and he knows he's just got to go here. He'll have a bounce. He can even have a second if he wants to. Decides against that. Kicks through the corridor. It's a beauty as well. Onto the chest of Vaiano. Vaiano dishes it off into the chest of Jones. Sends one to half forward. Medson should park himself underneath it though and takes the intercepting mark. Brilliantly done by Medson. Well read. Goes out wide with the kick to Thompson, who's had plenty of it in this last quarter. So Nathan Thompson again, the Blues, they can just play keepings off, and that's exactly what they do. Mason O'Neill on the end of this kick. O'Neill assesses the options down the line. Doesn't really need to be too measured. Looking for, and I think finding Tristan O'Neill, is it?
Free kick paid to Seville.
Yeah, but it is Tristan O'Neill. He can put the Blues inside forward 50 once again. He's got Broadway on the lead. If he wants him, just sends a pitching wedge inside the forward 50. And there's the siren. And Seville through to the second semi-final to take on Warburton and Millgrove next week. It was a very strong performance. They clearly had the formula after defeating Pakenham last week, and they take away an 18-point victory, 14-10-94 to 11-10-76. And Adam, the Blues just a little bit too good on the day. Absolutely. I think they've really won it in that first quarter. They just put up that unrelenting pressure on the scoreboard. And to trail all day is going to do something to you mentally, and I think Pakenham just couldn't quite get over that. They certainly showed some really good flashes, and we thought that we might have had a game on our hands for a minute, but Seville just really putting on the pressure, and it was all she wrote. Now, Trent, they really set it up in that first quarter, didn't they, with those 6 goals? Pakenham did really, really well to get themselves back into it, but you never want to be playing catch-up footy. No, definitely not. It was that start. It was that start that really set up the game there for Seville. They were